AFC East Roundtable. We are live yet again, giving you guys our NFL draft recap and grades. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode. Sorry for the lateness, the tardiness, but we were doing some stuff behind the scenes and getting something special for tonight's show. We're excited to announce, which is why we're a little late. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode here of the AFC East Roundtable presented by Roundtable Sports. Let's freaking go. TD, how you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling great. The draft is over. I'm a little anxious about the schedule release coming in about 10 days. I'm excited about it, man, and let's have a good night, man. It's a lot to talk about.
How about you, Mr. Dan Mitchell?
First off, we know the exact date when the schedule is. I thought I heard the 9th or the 10th.
Oh, 9 days. Okay.
Well, and so I'm not sure if it's confirmed yet, but that's even more exciting. Richie, you know what? I feel great, my friend. I had a busy couple of weeks right before, my friend. It's nice now that there's no more speculation. There's no more mock drafts. We all know what our team welcomed in from the rookie perspective. And, dude, I'm just super excited to talk a little bit of ball today. I'm going on vacation on Friday, so next week I'll be having a replacement as I'm out there riding horses in damn Yellowstone, baby. I'm looking forward to that. But I needed a vacation, man. I needed a vacation. Colby, how you doing?
Hey, Dan. You know, man, it's crazy. A week ago, we were here doing our final mock drafts, talking about what our teams were going to do, and it's finally recapped. And I think I can speak for all of us here on the roundtable when I say we are, like, so relieved. It's like 100 pounds are off our shoulder. Really, the busiest week of the entire year is finally over. We appreciate everybody who was there supporting us individually. We support everybody who was there, you know, even on Bleacher Report, supporting us there on day 2. So I'm just really excited for us to finally break down the final draft class for each team. And I'm honestly excited to hear your opinions on the Patriots draft class, because I heard a little bit about what you guys think, but this is going to be my first time fully hearing what you guys think about this class. And I'm really, really excited to break it down.
We gave you some hints on Bleacher Report.
Yeah, you gave me a little bit of hints. I liked it.
It was a lot of fun to be chopping up on Bleacher Report with you guys Friday night. We reacted to a lot of fun stuff, and shout out to the people in the chat who was watching with us on Bleacher Report for day number 2. The AFC's Roundtable took over the damn app, baby. So we got a lot of exciting things tonight, folks. Hit that like button on your way into the show. We were off on the huddle today, so we got in a special episode tonight to break down the NFL draft and go over every single draft class. No more mock drafts. This is my favorite time because no more speculation. We can actually talk about what it's all about, okay? What it's all about. Colby, apparently you're sounding like you're underwater a little bit.
I sound like
so
I'm
the new
underwater?
microphone. Yeah, it does. That
we
mic is
we might have to switch a little bit.
You got like auto-tune on or something. You're like T-Pain. You're like T-Pain right now. Hey, but hit that like button, folks. We greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys tuning in to the channel, guys. We got a lot of exciting things. And the first thing I wanted to show you guys is if you follow us on social media, I'm sure you know where we're going with this because we have an announcement, okay? We have an announcement that I'm excited to let you guys know. We officially launched the company logo. You can see it on the hat of myself and TD Finns Talk. And this is the beginning of something special, folks. If you guys want to shoot us a follow over on X, we would greatly appreciate that because that is really the platform we are really trying to grow. As well, give us a follow on Instagram. So here is the official branding of Roundtable Sports. Let us know what you guys think in the chat of the official Roundtable Sports Company logo because this is a lot of fun, man. We've been working on this behind the scenes, and we've been trying to get as many divisions as possible represented by Roundtable Sports. So let us know in the chat, guys, if you like the logo. We also have some merch on the way. I put the link at the top of the chat. If you guys want to give us a follow on Twitter, we would really, really appreciate if you guys can go shoot us a follow. We're also on Instagram at Roundtable Sports. Would really do appreciate that, guys. Big time, big time. And then last but not least, we do have one merch item available for purchase. Okay, so if you are interested in seeing what this merch item is, here it is. It's exactly what I'm wearing on my head right now. If you want to get a Roundtable Sports cap, that is available on the store right now. If you're interested, I put the link in the chat. I'll also put it down below in the description for those that are interested. TD, how you like this logo, man?
Well, it looks like I'm frozen here for some reason, but I love the logo.
Difficulties tonight.
I know, right? I love the logo, man. I just think it really embodies what we're trying to do. It's a nice, sleek design, and I think it's going to carry, and it's going to be recognized in the future as one of the best logos ever.
How about you, Dan?
Dude, I'll tell you what, it's clean. It's ready to go. And I see a couple people in the chat being like, oh, we don't like it. We don't like it. It's going to grow on you. Trust me. It's going to burn into your retinas. And anytime that you hear the name Dan Mitchell or Richie Malura, TD Fins Talk, or Colby from Pat's Global, you're going to see that R, baby. It's a beautiful thing. It's nice and cold. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, baby. We shall see. We shall see. So shout out to all the support guys, Roundtable Sports. It's just the beginning, baby. It's just the beginning, all right? So don't forget to hit the like button. Support what we're doing here at Roundtable Sports by shooting us a follow on Twitter and Instagram, and give us a subscription over on the main YouTube channel, Roundtable Sports. So let's get straight into business, okay? Let's get straight into business here. Woo! TD's frozen still. TD, you there, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you, but you can't see you.
Yeah.
No, shut up. Shut up.
What happened? You trade someone?
We might have signed somebody. Somebody just ended up putting something in the chat. I gotta see. Okay, I gotta verify this.
I haven't gotten anything yet.
I gotta verify this.
Never believe the chat. Never trust the chat.
Bro's gonna be like, we signed Tyler Boyd.
Never trust the chat.
By
the way,
let's
not forget that
the Buffalo Bills. Hold up. That's a fake account. Fuck.
Let's not forget that Dan said on Twitter that Curtis Samuel was going to put up over 1,000 yards this season.
Listen,
Never going to
bro,
get into that one. I'm not going to let you live that one down.
I will die on that hill.
Josh Allen passing for 5,000 yards is crazy.
5,000 yards, dude. 5,200, baby. Record books, dog. Record books. I'm just kidding. I didn't add it up, but it was mostly a troll post. It was engagement farming, and it worked. Go ahead. Hey, guys, what's good, Dan? What is it you see in Keon Coleman you like? What I like is his personality and his love for football. I'll tell you what, man, what I really like about Keon Coleman is a 4% drop rate. I love his ability of being an insurance policy for a quarterback that doesn't necessarily put it in the perfect spots, but saves his quarterback based off of his athleticism, his body control, and his overall hands. Separation to me really isn't that important because we already have three of the best separators that we could possibly ask for on this team with Dalton Kincaid. Same thing with Shakir, who, by the way, was had the highest catch rate of any wide receiver last year. And then also with Curtis Samuel as well, who is about top 3 in overall separation by itself. You wouldn't know because his best quarterback was Teddy Bridgewater, but I think with Keon Coleman, this is the perfect little weapon that we are going to see by itself. He has a lot of athleticism. Anybody that says that his routes are suspect, there's really just 2 routes that he struggles with. That's curls and comebacks, and that's something that could easily be fixed with coaching. That's why those wide receiver coaches get paid as much as they do, is to fix that thing. So love Keon Coleman, and I'm excited to hash it on out.
Astro member for a year. Keep up the great work, guys. Thank you, Brian. We do appreciate that. Appreciate that. Aaron plays 16 games this year. Who wins the AFC East?
Bills.
The Jets.
The New England Patriots. Let's be honest.
Everybody know we win it.
I mean, there's a reason why he said that Aaron plays 16 games is because we're sitting out the 17th game because we got clinched the division, baby. Manifest.
I'm going to switch this mic.
Manifestation.
Oh, Colby, they got you, bro.
Oh, no, Colby. They did finally get you. Colby, man. Colby, no.
This is how I know I made it. This is how I know I made it.
This is how you know.
You know what? I love it. I'm gonna post
you know
this.
Man, this is how you know that you've been accepted by our audience is when they make these memes of you. So congrats.
It doesn't get better than this. You know what? You guys made my day 100 times better, and I was having a rough day, so I appreciate it.
Wow, that's when you know, man. That's when you know.
That's how you know. I'm gonna tell my whole family I made it big now.
Yeah. You really carry the weight at the bottom of your face on that one. I like that.
Well, folks, hit that like button right now. We had a lot of Roundtable sports shows in these last few days, yesterday and right before this one, kicking off the off-season content here on Roundtable Sports. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We're excited to be live here on the AFC East Roundtable. There's a lot of fun stuff happening within this division, bro. There's a lot of fun stuff happening within this division. I think that everybody should be excited about each team. I think that the AFC East did a really good job overall in the division from the draft standpoint. So we're going to get deep into each individual team on the AFC East draft and break it all down there. Man, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. We got some more super chats to get to first. Slippy says, after the draft, the Jets, Pats, and Dolphins are still spry. Josh Allen's kids still have nothing.
Wait, what was that? After the draft, the Jets, Pats, and Dolphins are still spry. Josh Allen's kids still have nothing. You're talking about a quarterback that's literally led his team by himself to victory.
Stop, dude.
And you really think, listen, bro, it doesn't matter if I'm out there with Josh Allen, okay? We have a shot, and it's beautiful. Onward.
Richie Fresh with a $10 super chat. Dan, this is directed towards you.
My boy Richie, what up, Dan? You catch Coleman RG3 interview. Got me edging myself, thinking he's going to cook Sauce, Ramsey, etc. Keep sleeping on Samuel, though. He's played nothing but bum QBs till now from that. I feel like we'll just let the people find out about Curtis Samuel. Let's just let the people understand about Curtis Samuel, man. He runs a 4.3 40. Great off of the line. One of the best 10-yard splits in the game. His separation is absolutely throughout the roof. You about to see. Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, Richie, for the $10 super chat. He thinks that what? He thinks that he's going to cook sauce? Did I read that right? Keon Coleman thinks he's going to cook sauce as a rookie?
I think when it comes down into physicality, it's definitely going to be a matchup I'll be excited to see. Because both of them are super.
Did he say that, though? That's my question. Did he actually say that?
No. He's never said that. He hasn't called out anybody yet.
I'm
excited to see that matchup, though, man. Both of them are super physical.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, I've been doing a lot of deep diving on Jordan Travis, and I have been before the draft, and every time Jordan Travis throwing dimes, it's usually up to Keon Coleman. What do you think of Keon Coleman's personality, Dan? He seems like a pretty interesting, funny individual.
Oh, dude, he's hysterical, man. As long as he can go out there and have a super solid season his rookie year and into year 2 and year 3, this guy's gonna be beloved across the league. I love his personality. It's good for the locker room. Yeah, I'm happy for it, man.
Do we sound better? Y'all let us know.
Yeah, you do.
Do I sound better? All right. Well, we're never gonna do that microphone again.
No more.
We're gonna do that again.
Gotta get this one.
Retire.
No, yeah. Don't worry, guys. Upgrades are coming. I promise.
Hey, man.
Let's go!
Come on, TD.
Let's go!
What are you hyped about?
Let's go, Mando! Let's go, Mando! Ladies and gentlemen, this stream is being powered by Mando. Listen, if you don't know about Mando, because we have talked about it before, and I know there's a lot of people out here that walk around with body odor and they have a few issues that need to be resolved. We have your solution with Mando. Shout out, I saw yours, Dan. I got the whole package over here, man. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Mando has a whole body deodorant, okay? Mando is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, packages, grundle and balls. I'm just keeping it 100. Belly buttons, butt cracks, stinky crevices, everything. If you got a problem, check out Mando, okay? It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal body odor was being misdiagnosed and mistreated, ladies and gentlemen. Mando whole body deodorant is powerful enough for the toughest body odors, but gentle enough to use everywhere, allowing you to put Mando on family jewels, without any worry because Mando is aluminum free, it's baking soda free, cruelty free, dye free, and it's also vegan. A lot of people don't know that, okay? Clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's grundle odor level was 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average grundle odor level was 0 out of 10. So check out Mando's starter pack. It's perfect for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free, and I love the word free, okay? 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or the deodorant wipes. I got both of them here. Bam. They come with free products as well, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure that you check it out. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked up on my favorite smelling body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code, okay? That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code AFC East at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Check it out. Now, listen, I know it can be embarrassing sometimes, but go ahead and fix that up. If you know you got some issues, make sure you go check out Mando. I use it. I'm glad they sent it to me because I use it and it keeps me fresh. Now the wife can't stop leaving, my grundle is all good, all right? Put it like that. So check out Mando. Again, link in the description of the video. Supporting the sponsor is supporting the channel, but this is truly a product that is helpful and we all could use. Mando.
Yeah, guys, and you guys can click that link at the top of the chat, and it would automatically bring you to build your starters pack. And then don't forget, you add the AFC East code right here, all caps, and you get $5 off. It'll come to $30 for a great value of a starter pack with some free stuff as well. They sent us over a bunch of products. I've been using it ever since. Very highly recommend this, guys, and a great way to support what we do here on the AFC's Roundtable is by simply buying a starter pack with Mando. So we really would appreciate that, guys. Clicking that link at the top of the chat and at the top of the description, baby. Let's go.
And so I'll tell you what, I tested it out as well, right? And so I tested this out because I always hear these advertisements say, oh, yeah, it's going to be 12 hours. You're not going to smell terribly. I did a test where I lathered up real fast, and I went to the gym, was there for 2.5 hours, and I wrapped up in the sauna. Boys, okay? I was absolutely soaking. And let me tell you what, my pits, my grundle, which I just learned that term right there, smelled perfectly, baby. I'll tell you what, Mando is the only deodorant I will ever use ever again. I promise you that.
Let's go, Mando.
The grundle. Man, I love that
good old grundle.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do, man. We're just trying to help out the boys out there. We're trying to help out the boys.
Yeah, Richie, the Knicks need some Mando, man. They stink.
And so if it works for Dan, it definitely works. 100. Do it. Yo, what are you trying to say? And so you're trying to say that I look like I smell the worst out of all of us?
Oh, do I look like I smell good? I would hope I would.
Well,
Dan got the starter pack, so I disagree.
Shout out to Mando, man. Big time shout out to Mando.
Yeah, thank you for taking care of our grundles.
Now we do have someone in the chat. King Cat asks, y'all got your cards?
Hey. Let's go.
Yo, Richie hadn't sent him my card yet. But yes, we did, King Cat. Thank you so much.
Richie holding them hostage.
Yeah, I'm holding them hostage for a reason because I wanted to ship them out after tonight's show because I wanted to have all 4 of them here to show them off before I ship them out. King Cat was very generous enough to send your boys here at the AFC's Roundtable some sick items. King Cat, cannot thank you enough. I wanted to show off these 4 before I shipped it out because I don't want to own a Dolphins card. Okay, it's a little stinky. It's a little stinky there. But we got a Garrett Wilson one, which is absolutely fantastic. It is signed. It is gorgeous. I cannot wait to crack this and look what's inside. Thank you so much to King Cat for the Jets Garrett Wilson sign. We got a Jalen Waddle one for TD Finn's talk that he got.
I can't
Pretty fresh, I'm not going to lie.
Man.
Sweet.
Okay,
just picked up the 5th-year option.
Ramondre Stevenson for the Patriots.
Ooh, there you go. I like it. I like it.
Okay. And then last but not least, we got Mr. Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills.
Thank you, sir.
Dan Mitchell.
Oh,
King Cat, bro.
To the name.
King Cat, man. My boy.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Awesome stuff.
Dope. Thank you, brother.
No, this is actually sick, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to these. You guys, all right.
See, Richard, you ain't
I
right.
feel like I need to give back to King
I'm kidding,
Cat
bro.
for
I
everything
ain't
he's done.
holding on to them. I don't want these. I'll ship them out to you boys tomorrow.
Thank you,
I'll
thank
swap
you,
you.
Richard.
I'll swap
See,
you.
I'll
But I
tell
wanted
you
to-
what, man. I think that I like really want to get into like the sports card collecting thing.
Really?
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
gonna be,
bro.
This
I
is
mean,
gonna be
like-
my start.
So they're basically like NFTs, like real NFTs. Actually, like they carry so much value, dude. Like I'm thinking about doing like breaks over on my channel and stuff, seeing if I can get like some really good rookie cards and stuff. 4 or 5 years down the road, it's basically an investment. And to be honest with you, so
Yeah, I'm gonna actually start a little collection with this one.
yeah.
I got a signed Bo Scarborough card. If you guys remember him, running back.
Oh
I
man,
think he played for the Seahawks and the Lions. I'm not saying he was like great, but it's still signed.
Hey, man.
Wow.
It's going to be fun. Superfish with a $5 super chat. Curtis Samuel runs a flat route tree and can even come out of the backfield. He's probably your best wide receiver, Dan. Definitely not sleeping on Samuel.
thank you, sir. Tell the people, man.
It's just 1,000 yards. It's crazy.
1,000 yards
for Curtis
Samuel,
Samuel?
baby.
Oh, I'm saying.
1,000 yards for Samuel this year, baby. Book it.
I won't be opening it up. I won't be opening them up, King Cat. That was my mistake. I knew not to open them up. I don't know why I said it.
What do you mean open it up?
No, I said as a joke, I can't open them up, but you're not supposed to open these up. They're supposed to stay in
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah,
You
dude.
keep them in the case, right?
And seal or
keep 'em in
send
the
off
case.
either PSA or Beckett to get graded.
See, thank you for saying that because this is the first time I'm gonna start actually so I'm gonna start a collection. I wouldn't have known better. I'd have been like, yeah, let me get this out of here. Let me look at like, I wouldn't have known
Look at
better.
this stuff.
So
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
so glad
Absolutely.
you
It ruins
said
the
that.
value if you do that.
Wow. So he okay, that makes sense. So this is in its form, the way it's supposed to be and stay, right?
Oh, yeah. Super nice
So it'll
cards.
stay
Like, you need
mint
those
condition.
glass enclosures.
Okay.
Yeah, those glass cases.
I'm glad you
Wow.
said that.
Yes,
'Cause
sir.
I saw that little cloth in there, look like a piece of jersey or something. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
these
bro,
nice.
that's what I said. It looks like a nice piece of
Yeah.
it's
Man.
fresh, man. King Cat.
Dude, like some
Cat's
of those cards, man. Like, I mean, for example, I'm gonna look up like, damn, like what's a Tom Brady rookie card worth? Let me see.
Bro, at least 10 grand.
$192,000.
Okay, I didn't know it
$12.
was that much.
$12.
192. What about a Josh Allen rookie card? Let me see a Josh Allen rookie.
$45. Oh my God.
Josh Allen.
Hold up. I just want to see how much it's worth.
$8.
Josh Allen rookie card worth.
Trash.
2018 Panini. It's only 99 copies. Oh my God. A 2017 select Josh Allen rookie card, $279,000.
That's
For a buck?
crazy.
It's on eBay. It's some
Oh.
fool. It's just trying to get it
Some
for it.
fool.
But you have like 300, like 240 and stuff for a Panini. Yeah. Yeah, like $300 basically for it. So
I gotta learn this stuff. I gotta get into this.
3,500. Oh.
Mm.
And so I just saw the one that King Cat just sent me. I'm keeping it though.
Yeah. King Cat's like, you better keep that shit.
Listen, bro. I'm not getting rid of anything Buffalo Bills memorabilia, baby. Now, if I get a CJ Stroud rookie card, if I find one of those, please, man. I'll buy myself a Chevy Silverado, whatever. Come on.
Chevy Silverado. New home. Bunk up the crib.
Absolutely.
Hey, man. It is what it is. What you gonna say? Well, let's get into our grades, why don't we?
Uh-oh. Who's going first?
Who's going first? You know who's going first. Come on.
You're going first.
What kind of question is that, bro?
You're going
What
first.
kind of
TD
question is
Finstock.
that?
It's TD Finstock.
Nah.
Oh, my God. It's the team with the best draft. Let's go.
What?
I love it.
All right, here is your New England Patriots class of 2024. All right. Dan left because he felt the stank come up when we
Yeah, it's because I know his grades and they're not correct. So he was like, ah, crap, I don't want to get roasted. So he left the building. Understandable.
Well, here it is. Now, I want to get your grade, Colby, first of the New England Patriots. Everybody in the chat, let us know your draft grade for the New England Patriots entire class of 2024.
Yeah. So I'm giving the New England Patriots a B+ for this draft. I've seen some people even try to give it an A-, and I think that is definitely something that is realistic. I've seen higher. Look, as a Patriots fan, I don't personally agree. I will stand by my team and bang the table for them, but I'm the type of guy that tries to keep things realistic and true to my word. And I really believe that the Patriots are a B+. And apparently PFF agrees with me. I didn't even know they dropped their grades, but the Patriots made a lot of really, really good moves. And I know a lot of you casual fans are going to say 4 wins, the Patriots are mid. Please go learn a thing or two about football if you think that the Patriots had a mid draft. They had a very, very good draft class. You get your potential franchise quarterback with Drake May. You stay at 3. They don't trade down, which was the right option. Drake May has such an unbelievably high ceiling, and that's something that has been said even before he went to the New England Patriots, right? He fits the system better than any other quarterback in this entire draft class. And in any other draft, this is the consensus #1 quarterback off the board. The only reason he wasn't is because there was a guy named Caleb Williams. And then, of course, Jaden Daniels was a Heisman Trophy winner this past season and put up historical, like generational numbers this past season. So big fan of Drake May. And I'm really excited to see what the future holds. As for a couple of the other picks here, the Patriots get doubling up at wide receiver, both in Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. It's not Javon, it's Javon, which fill exact roles that the team needs. I thought they got really good value in terms of Javon Baker. Jalen Polk is another guy that I think a lot of people think the Patriots reached on. Realistically, they didn't. He was projected to go 2nd to 3rd round. The Patriots trade down and still get him, and he fits exactly what they need. Jalen Polk might not be a wide receiver 1, but he is very, very confidently and comfortably going to be a number 2, which is what the team needs. Javon Baker is a guy that could end up being, a number 4 wide receiver, or could end up being truly a number 1 wide receiver, truly explosive. Both Jalen Polk and Javon Baker put up a 99 grade out of 100, according to PFF this past season at the college level in terms of deep grade. These guys have an insane catch radius, and with Drake May operating the best in the middle of the field and deep into the field too, getting guys that are going to be able to operate some splash plays are absolute A+ signings. Now, I didn't give them A+ signings, but we're not getting into each individual grades for players. In terms of their offensive line, I think that's what brings their draft grade down. Caden Wallace and Robinson, both picks that I didn't necessarily love. Spoiler alert, if you want to know my grades for the Patriots, each individual picks, those are dropping tomorrow. I give those both C+. I didn't love the value. I didn't love where they picked them. I understand them, but I don't love where they were. And then Jaheim Bell also in the 7th round. That was a projected 5th round pick, but I'll dispute. I'll dispute what you guys are saying when you tell me your thoughts on the Patriots. I'm curious to see what your guys' grades are. But big fan of this draft class.
TD, what do you think about the New England Patriots draft haul?
Well, I've had some initial grades and I keep shifting on it just because I'm going to be honest with you. I just keep thinking about Drake May and I keep wondering, and maybe you could answer this for me real quick, Kobe. Do you see him starting?
I don't see him starting at least week 1. There is going to be a quarterback competition. That is something that Gerard Mayo confidently said, is that nobody's going to have the starting job. I think they brought Jacoby Brissett in here for a reason. And Drake May even said before that, ideally he isn't going to start week 1, but he'll prepare as if he's going to do so. There's no reason for him to start. Okay. At least week 1. Maybe they start him halfway through the season, but as a Patriots fan, I would like to see them shut him down for his entire first year. He's only 21. He has so much time to still develop, and then make him the starting quarterback in 2025.
Well, I love the draft overall. Okay. I'm in this whole mindset right now of competing now, being a problem now. You definitely set your future up right to get some answers to see where this is going to go. I just love the connection with Drake May and Jalen Polk. You knew what you wanted in this draft. You went and got it. Not only that, you did the right thing by investing in the O-line to take care of Drake May and getting, what's his name? Wallace. Caden
Wallace, the offensive tackle.
Somebody name you just corrected us on. I think it was Javon
Baker.
Okay, because I keep saying Javon. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go offensive line to take care of that. Then you bring in Robinson on the other side of the ball. And let me ask you this though. Mm-hmm. What happened at the running back position? You still have Ramondre. Is that it?
I think the fact that they didn't go running back high or did not even go on running back whatsoever signifies how they feel about Ramondre Stevenson. He is coming off a season-ending injury, but he was an every down running back. I mean, in terms of pass protection, in terms of rushing ability, and even in terms of receiving ability, he was able to do it all. And I think that this shows that they feel confident in his ability moving forward, and they're going to give him the year. And if he shows out in this upcoming season, they're going to give him a contract extension. And if he doesn't, the running back market is so lucrative because there's so many running backs coming into the league, but a lot of teams don't really view running back as a high priority anymore. So you can easily get guys that will be contributors, really even off the free agency market too. So, but they also have Antonio Gibson, who they picked up in free agency to be kind of that 1-2 punch.
Okay, that makes sense then. I didn't
So
know
what's
about
your letter
Gibson.
grade, TD?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with the A- for the Patriots.
Oh, okay. I like it, CD. You ate, bro. You ate. I like it.
So you love Drake May.
TD, let me correct you. You texted me the grade. You gave him an A on what you texted me. Did you change it to an A-?
Well, I kind of just did. That's why I said at the beginning I keep going back and forth with the grade because of the Drake May thing. But I did have a question for Kobe. If y'all selected Jaden Daniels over Drake May, would Jaden Daniels be starting day one?
I think that Jaden Daniels would be starting day one because he's 24 years old, but also Jaden Daniels has really, 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 really good mechanics to be able to start immediately. The problem with Drake May is that his footwork is off and his mechanics are off, which is why he's a little bit inconsistent. The accuracy is a little bit questionable. If you give him a year to be able to work on his footwork, the accuracy is going to improve. The mechanics are going to improve. And he has skills that you cannot teach. They're just not coachable. They are God-given. So give him time to work on those mechanics. Don't mess with his confidence. And again, I think that this is going to be kind of a plug and play. Again, Justin Herbert, right? He sat for a little while. Patrick Mahomes sat for a little while. Lamar Jackson sat for a little while. There's a blueprint on sitting quarterbacks.
This is how, real quick, this is how I feel about it. I gave it an A, but I moved it to an A- because of the quarterback situation, only because I'm a firm believer the sit behind situation is when you have a guy who has been there for a while and was the franchise guy. Like Mahomes behind Smith, like Lamar Flacco. You see what I mean? Like, but Jacoby Brissett, like I feel like a number 3 overall pick, even if he's rough, he got to be out there. That's just how I feel about it. So, yeah.
How about you, Dan? We also have a poll up in the chat for the Patriots, guys. If you want to vote, try to be objective and not just be a pure hater just because you hate the Patriots. Try to actually vote what you think the Patriots' grade is for the NFL draft. How about you, Dan? TD gives him an A-. How do you think the Patriots did in the draft?
Yeah, I gave him a B, man. And I think largely it's just due to the fact that I think we all know how I feel about Drake May as far as a prospect. I feel better about the fact that I do agree with Colby. I think that he is one of those quarterbacks sitting behind Jacoby Brissett, especially since as much as I like the wide receiver picks, and I will agree with Colby, I think Baker is going to be a way better prospect than Polk. Say that I had to guess. I really think that Javon Baker is about to be like a household name in this league. I really do. He was one of my personal favorite wide receiver prospects targeted in like the third and fourth round. But solid weaponry as far as that plays out. But I feel like when you have a quarterback that's as raw as Drake May, I think, and especially when it comes down into his weapons, particularly on the outside for boundary receivers, I think your best bet is really to let him sit behind, work on those, minute mechanics, unless Brissett just goes out there and absolutely lays an egg and you have no other choice or an injury happens or something like that.
Well, then you got Joe Milton to throw out in the fire, Dan.
Joe Milton is going to throw 10 yards over him on a 5-yard slant, but then he's going to hit a dime 90 yards down the field, right, Colby?
Joe Milton. And listen, I do want to prep you because I guarantee you, all it's going to take is Drake May to throw one pick. Yep. And there's going to be some fans in your comments section who are like, give Milton, bro. Get Milton in there, dude.
Dan, I'm waiting for mini camp and training camp because that's when somebody like Joe Milton stands out, a guy who's going to be flashy because he can launch the ball 80 yards downfield. And one thing I will say, too, about Joe Milton, a lot of people didn't love the pick. I wasn't crazy about it, but I graded it higher than some people. I think I gave it a B or a B- overall, just because he has really, really good intangibles. He's just very inconsistent and bad accuracy. Yeah. But if you can get something out of Joe Milton and you're able to flip that pick in a couple of years for maybe a 3rd-round pick or a 4th-round pick, as a guy you took back end of the 6th with, ironically, the Mac Jones pick, that's a dub. That is a dub of a pick.
And so you know that there's going to be some union worker out of Dorchester that's going to be scrolling through Twitter. He's going to see like Joe Milton throw like a blindfolded from his knees 90-yard pass in training camp. He's going to be like, man, forget Drake May. He's the future, dude. I promise you. But I'm
giving it a B, right? Solid B?
I'm giving you a solid B, man. I liked it because also I did like the fact that y'all ended up taking that mentality where you recognize that like your defense was pretty much already set. You have a Gerard Mayo who has worked with that specific defense. So clearly your number one objective was filling out that offense, right? And building it for the future. So I think it was a great strategy. I thought it was perfectly executed. I give it a B.
Wow. Dan, the draft God gives him a high grade, man. Look at that, Colby. Now, last but not least, my thoughts of these Patriots draft. I got to admit, I absolutely hate it. No, I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, I actually like how the New England Patriots doubled down at wide receiver and quarterback. I think that was smart because what the Patriots are doing right now is they're entering a completely different phase of their organization, right? Without Bill Belichick, they got to formulate a new identity, more specifically on the offensive side of the ball. Gerard Mayo, defensive player underneath Bill Belichick. He kind of has that identity, but what is the offense going to look like? And now we're going to see a brand new offense for these New England Patriots. You saw what the Washington Redskins did at the time, drafting RG3 earlier and then drafting Kirk Cousins in that same draft class. Look how that worked out. Now, I'm not going to predict Joe Milton to be the future of the Patriots over Drake May, even though it's possible, of course. But I really do think that getting a long-term backup quarterback to sit and learn behind your future hopeful franchise quarterback in Drake May, I like that move. I absolutely do. I think it's one of those things where late in the draft, you throw a dartboard. I like the Joe Milton pick. And when it comes to the wide receivers, man, Baker was one of my sleepers in the mid rounds. And the fact that you got him while also getting Polk and doubly dipping at that spot, the Patriots literally like stink at wide receiver. I mean, when it comes to the playmakers, that's their biggest issue. And I think for them to double down at the wide receiver position was extremely important for them. And getting a Polk who's that dynamic weapon on the outside and then a Baker who is that unique type of talent with speed. I like that. You know, listen, their reach for the tackle was definitely a head scratcher, but I'm going to give them a B+. I actually like this New England Patriots draft class a lot. I am a fan of it just from an objective lens. But hey, only time will tell. I think they really took some swings here. And again, it is a completely different dynamic. And what's going to make or break this draft class in the long term? It's simple. Drake May. Is Drake May your quarterback 4 years from now, starting, being a top 15 at least? Like, is he out of the league? Is he getting traded like Mac Jones? Like, that's really what's going to differentiate this type of draft class is the development of Drake May. And I think the Patriots would be smart to, allow it to be an open competition going into training camp with Brissett, with giving Drake May the opportunity to go win it. But maybe it would be smart to start Brissett week 1, and then maybe Brissett starts to struggle, and then you're going to hear Drake May chants, I'm sure, at Foxborough if you guys start 1-3 or something like that, and then it's going to be hard because that's what it comes down to when people, say, oh, it's easy, just bench the quarterback, right? It's not easy. Fan bases are hungry. Like for example, as much as, it failed Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson starting week 1, I know my Jets fan base so well where, say, Zach or Sam was benched in their rookie season and we're in week 5 and the Jets are 1-4, everybody's going to be play the rookie quarterback, right? Because that's what all the fans want. We want to see what the young guy looks like instead of sitting a whole year, right? So I think it's going to be tough for the Patriots to sit May for the entire season. My prediction is Brissett starts the season, and then we'll see Drake May maybe by week 4, week 5, and then maybe he'll take over that team and potentially be the guy because he's kind of a boomer bust type of prospect for me because his boom is extremely high. I mean, he's has so many qualities to his game that has franchise quarterback written all over him. And then there's some red flags that, of course, you got to keep in mind. So it's up to the Patriots organization to rally around him, to elevate him, be an organization that will support him. And it's also, of course, up to Drake May himself to get the job done. So I like this Patriots draft. I think it's a good draft class without your first one without Bill Belichick. And it's the beginning of something new and fresh for the New England Patriots.
Arguably
20+ years.
Arguably our best draft class. And I mean, honestly, I don't even know how long, because like you said, this draft class has potential written all over it. And they actually went after guys of need, but guys who also made sense for the franchise and had the talent and had that name value to them. And don't forget too, Javon Baker, after he was drafted and did kind of that press conference with the Patriots immediately after he was drafted, he was not happy that he fell. Like, he was a projected 3rd round pick. The Patriots were able to get him, like mid to a little bit higher there in the 4th round. And he knows that teams passed on him, and he's motivated because of it. In fact, he had this quote, which if Belichick was here, would have definitely gotten him cut already. Basically said to Patriots fans, get your popcorn ready because I'm going to make people in wheelchairs stand up. An absolute blasphemy.
I saw that.
I loved it. You love
I'm gonna
that
make people in wheelchairs stand up, man.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, bro.
I love it. And I love, too, the dynamic between Jalen Polk and Javon Baker, because they're both outside receivers who are bigger and they're deep threats. They fit the mold of what the Patriots need. But Polk is going to be utilized as like a guy who can be utilized in different offensive rotations, right? Because he can be an X receiver. He can be a Z receiver. He can be a Y. He's going to play everywhere. He can play in the slot too. He's not strictly an X receiver. The way that I see Jalen Polk, the floor, Jacoby Myers, like a more of a souped up Jacoby Myers. His ceiling is going to be someone like Keenan Allen, who he models his game after. I'm not saying he's going to get there, but that's why we call it a ceiling for a reason. Again, quality number 2 guy who I expect to immediately be plugged in at some point throughout the season as their solidified number 2. And Polk, again, has potential to be a number 1, but also could be a number 4. A lot of questions there. But guys, do not sleep. Do not sleep on 7th round pick Jaheim Bell, who might have been the best value pick for the Patriots in this entire draft, a projected 5th round pick that they get in the 7th. He's not a really good blocker. He's small to play tight end. He's more of like a bigger outside X receiver. But Richie, this is the Patriots' Malachi Corley. That's what this is. He is one of the best after the catch receivers in the entire college level. Drafted tight ends with the career 2 yards per route run or more since 2017. Dallas Goedert, Brock Bowers, and Jaheim Bell. This guy's ability after the catch is absolutely insane. To me, and I say this lightly, but to me, I see like a Jonnu Smith type of role. Don't sleep, but wow, a massive donation.
Cardero, my boy coming in, dude.
Guys, there's a new feature on Super Chats that you can hit a like button on a Super Chat. Can you guys right now smash a like button on the Super Chat of this guy right now? $200 from Cordaro Linder. Dolphins got this and Jets got that. Buffalo still winning the division. Dan, this one's for you.
Oh my gosh, you can like it. What does that even do?
Absolutely.
It shows Dono hype. That's what it does. Give my man Dono hype. Let's get this to like 100 likes.
Oh, wow.
Guys, there's 434 people watching. Like the Super Chat. Like the Super Chat.
Dude, that is absolutely beautiful. Cordero, man, I appreciate you, man. Go Bills. I certainly hope you're as excited about this draft class as I am, my friend.
Dude, that's huge. $200. Thank you so much, man. Cannot thank you enough how much that means to what we're doing here at Roundtable Sports. Just know that these Super Chats are going right back in to what we're building from beyond the AFC's Roundtable. So this Super Chat means a lot, okay? It means a lot to what we're doing here at the end of the day. So thank you. We have 41 likes on it, bro. 41. Come on, we got to get to 50. Got to get to 50 likes on a Super Chat. This is the most likes in a Super Chat history, bro.
Unfortunately, it is a beautiful Super Chat, but he wrong. Let's start there. The Buffalo still winning the division. Come on, man. I think Buffalo fans, the most nervous fans in the NFL. They like, we replaced our guys, which was good, but it's like, Josh Allen has to do more, and he can't do more. So, hey.
Sorry, baby. Hey, baby, listen, man. We're about to go on ahead, and I can't wait to get to the Bills draft. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to explain it to people.
Well, guys, you've been hitting the like button on the Super Chat. Don't forget to hit the like button on the stream as well. We got 450 plus watching, only 136 likes. Hit that like button. Milk the thumbs, baby. We're finally past the NFL draft, and we can recap it. We're going to be breaking down every single draft class. We already broke down New England, and we have 3 more teams to get deep into. So please hit that like button, folks. We'd really, really appreciate that if you could simply smash the like button on this show right freaking now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. Let's get it. Also, while we're here, guys, I'm just going to keep reminding you, if you want to do us a favor, shoot us a follow on our social media here on Twitter. Trying to build something special. We got some really unique graphics on the way. We got the grades for the AFC South out there. Awesome. So listen, man, I'm trying my best to level up this brand and get it on the same level as the big boys. So if you guys want to show us some love, you like these, Colby?
Dude,
Oh,
I texted you this. When you dropped them, I said they are professional from what you see from other sports networks like Bleacher Report or Game Day or whatever you see, ESPN, NFL Network, but they have a different style to them to where you know that it is Roundtable Sports. I think it's a perfect combination of new and professional.
And the transparent logo is pretty fire, bro.
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on. You guys are hating on this logo. Look at that. Woo!
That is fire. That looks really professional. It's going to grow on people.
We're going to get graphics of our grades that's going to be uploaded probably tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. This is the NFC West Roundtables post. So, man, it's exciting stuff, bro. It really is. Dan, you like these graphics or what?
Dude, I told you already, man. I thought that I was looking at some of the big dogs, but then I had to remind myself that we are some of the big dogs, baby.
Let's go,
Dan. I like that.
I like that
on the shirt.
Hey,
chat. Hey, listen. So I do have an announcement for anybody that's willing to help me. So as you guys know, we're planning on launching all of the divisions next year for Roundtable Sports. And I'll tell you what I have been struggling with. I have been struggling finding a Browns creator. I have been struggling finding a Falcons creator. And I have been struggling finding a Chargers creator. If anybody knows of anybody that covers any of those teams, please feel free to send me a DM over on Twitter. That would be wildly helpful. We're trying to lock these guys down as much as humanly possible. It's just the NFC South and the AFC West has been getting to me.
Dan, I'll talk to you afterwards.
Hit that link as well in the chat, guys. If you want to follow us over on Instagram at Roundtable Sports, we have 458 followers on Instagram, and we have pretty similar amount of followers on X. We have 588 followers on X. So if you guys want to shoot us a follow over on our main social medias, we're about to be really active on there. We're trying to build something special, and we would love for you guys to be a supporting factor of what we're trying to build.
Did that Chargers guy not respond to you, Dan? The one that I told you about? That he's kind of like more new.
Yeah, he did, but he ghosted me, bro. He ghosted me, bro. Like I feel like an insane girlfriend. I followed up twice. No answer.
I got you. Situation report. New moderator. Stand up. Got to give a big shout out to my boy right here. NY Jets situation report. He's a consistent watcher of the AFC's Roundtable. Also creates really good Jets content. He clipped TD on his show and exposed him on Twitter. Which didn't expose me. Hey, I take that back. There was no exposing because it was just simply you on your YouTube channel. But it's just the thing that he was exposing was the inconsistency of your takes on TD Finn's talk compared to who you are on the AFC's Roundtable. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, come on.
That's all I'm saying. That's all we're saying. Just keep it consistent. We'll be good, bro.
Listen. I've been giving the Jets love lately. Y'all stop coming for me.
We're just playing, man. Bills ain't winning poop. Jets, Jets. The big fella with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate that, bro. We appreciate the $2 super chat. Big time shout out to the big fella. So how many like buttons do we have smashed now? At least 100? No, not even. 186, guys. Hit that like button right now for the boys here at the AFC's Roundtable. What team should we go to next?
He said you have to get a hold of your boy Grossi. He can help you. That's probably a good idea. Glenn.
How about those Miami Dolphins? Oh, you want to go to the Buffalo Bills?
Let's go to the Buffalo Bills.
Let's do it.
Let's go to the Buffalo Bills right here, baby.
I got to pull up my grades. I don't remember what I gave everyone.
The Buffalo Bills, Dan?
The Buffalo Bills. Yep.
You're a big Bills guy, right?
Nah.
So I've heard.
Nah. Not so much.
Well, Dan, why don't you give us your grade?
All right. So we can go on ahead and look over what the Buffalo Bills ended up doing. So starting off with Keon Coleman, we ended up trading down in the first twice, passing up on Xavier Worthy, passing up on Xavier Legette. As many of you guys know, I was pounding the table for Ladd McConkey, who I like quite a bit. I mean, great separation, speedy wide receiver. But then we ended up going over for Keon Coleman. Surprisingly enough, I was probably one of the few people who was actually okay with Keon Coleman. It was either Ladd McConkey or Keon for me at that point. Super happy about this. He has a little bit to refine when it comes into his curls and his comeback routes, but that's something that, wide receiver coaches are paid big bucks to help, protect. But as TD has mentioned as well, this is like the perfect wide receiver for Josh Allen because he wins by his hands and he always bails his quarterback out when it comes into throws that aren't necessarily perfectly in his hands. He's going to be an absolute menace when it comes into 50-50 balls, which is insane. He has like a career, I want to say it's like 42.7%. He has a 4% drop rate. So he catches just about everything. He wins by body control. Super tall, very athletic. This is going to be a massive piece for this team. I'm still convinced that this Buffalo Bills team is going to be riding through the run game and also with tight end play. So I think Keon Coleman is going to be a nice little piece for us. Say I had to guess, it's not going to be an automatic 1,000-yard receiver sort of thing. I wouldn't be upset if that was the case. But I could definitely see him going like about 700, 750 yards this year with a lot of those 50-50 deep ball, have to convert sort of situations. Really liked what we ended up doing. As far as Cole Bishop, I mean, absolute dog. He's one of the most aggressive safeties on the face of the planet, sometimes to his detriment, leading to missed tackles. But he's a dog when it comes into overall run defense. He runs a 4.4 40. He's great at guarding tight ends. I think this is the perfect fit just to be able to pair next to Taylor Rapp. This is good. And now I don't need to hear TD tell me that Damar Hamlin's going to be starting at safety anymore. So that's fantastic. Dwayne Carter, I liked quite a bit as well. He did drop because his production slightly took a hit compared to the year before. But if he can get with our defensive line coach and get back to what he was 2 years ago, perfect, absolute depth piece for us. And I think an eventual starter. The second that Daquan Jones ends up leaving this team, he's going to be able to plug and play. He's solid. He's solid in run defense and great at pass rushing, solid in hurries and QB pressures. Ray Davis. I like this Ray Davis piece because it tells us a lot about what Joe Brady wants to do. We saw little hints and pieces of what the Buffalo Bills team likes to do. And this entire draft really came out to me that we ended up filling our team of how teams historically play us. They tried to take away the deep pass and they made us go to this sort of game where we had to be able to run the ball. We had to be able to execute on those short yardage situations. And Ray Davis, man, he's older. He's about 24 years old, but exact same age as James Cook. So he's going to be entering around the exact same age as far as that sort of athlete goes into it. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. His absolute contact balance is insane. He averages like 4 yards after contact. Absolute bowling ball, this guy. I am so excited. He's going to be the thunder right to James Cook's lightning. Cedric Van Pran was huge. Love that. He has only released 1 sack in his entire collegiate career. He was the starting center for the back-to-back national champions over at UGA, meaning we don't need to roll the dice on McGovern starting center. So McGovern can go right back to left guard. We're going to have a top 3, top 5 offensive line. And last year we stayed relatively healthy. This is absolutely perfect. Javon Solomon, my God, 16 sacks, absolutely fast. Great ball awareness as well during all of the strips. Love everything that this team ended up doing. Daquan Hardy, a lot of people are calling him one of the best slot corners in the entire draft out of Penn State. Obviously, we have Taron Johnson, but super excited to have him for a depth personnel, for some further development. And then really everything else, just some solid depth when it comes into it. Some solid depth, rather. Having to just be able to make sure that we end up getting some backups for the tackle position, because there certainly was a lot of question marks about our second and third string in that category. I'm giving this draft a B- because I low-key wish we double dipped. And so at wide receiver, like for example, I would have loved a Malik Washington. I would have loved a Javon Baker as well. One of those two. But at the end of the day, really at the end of the day, I think we did an awesome job at being able to fill some of our necessities and then also start building toward the new identity that I see Joe Brady building for us. So I'd say a B- for me.
How about you, Colby?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see this coming. I actually am giving the Bills a better grade than Dan gave the Bills. Oh. So how about that? Yeah, I'm giving the Bill. It's not by much, but I'm going to give this a B overall for the Bills. Look, Keon Coleman obviously fits the mold on like the type of receiver that you guys need. I also think that what made my grade pretty decent, I would say, for the Bills. I think you guys got a pretty good overall grade there from a Patriots fan, getting a B, but was trading down as much as you did, getting all of the picks, getting the value, but still getting Keon Coleman. Some people projected him to be a first-round wide receiver. Personally, I never saw that. I never liked Keon Coleman. I think that he's a bit of a slower, sluggish outside guy. Good contested catch guy for sure. Reliable hands, but to me, as a Patriots fan, I just see too much N'Keal Harry in him. And I think that for a guy whose only kind of purpose as a wide receiver, the only part to his game essentially is I'm a big guy. I go up, I get ball. And that's pretty much all there is to his game. Not great at separation and speed or anything like that. Personally, I think that there were better guys on the board, but he makes sense for the type of receiver you need. I feel like you guys have a lot of these slot guys, smaller guys, shifty route runners, yards after the catch, but you don't have that big body on the outside in contested catch situations. Stephon Diggs leaves. You also lost Gabe Davis. So I think this is more of a Gabe Davis replacement than it is for Stephon Diggs, but you're hoping that ultimately he is going to develop into a wide receiver one. I think it was a little bit high for him personally, being the first pick in the second round. But again, if that's your guy, go ahead and get your guy. Cole Bishop really liked this pick for you guys. You guys need help at safety. I honestly would have looked at doubling up at safety, to be quite honest with you, especially because I think the guys you have in terms of veterans, they're really not that great. You don't want to put all of the weight on one rookie. I think doubling up there and kind of having a bit of a battle for your safeties in general would have been a smart direction to go. Big fan of Dwayne Carter. That's a guy that you guys drafted when we were live on Bleacher Report. I'm a fan of him. A lot of interior defensive linemen going off the board a lot sooner than we kind of projected. I don't know. I think there were better options for you to go than defensive tackle that high. What I would have done is I would have looked at getting cornerback earlier. I mean, I would have looked at maybe getting a Cam Hart, getting a Nehemiah Pritchett, both guys who went in the fifth round. You probably could have gotten in the fifth round if you traded up, or even getting them in the fourth round. I think that cornerback was a much bigger need for you guys than I think is realized. You don't need a cornerback one, but you do still need bodies there. You do still kind of need some help, and you waited till the sixth round. That is something that I didn't like. I do like, though, how you doubled down at offensive tackle, and Javon Solomon might be my favorite pick in your entire draft. I'm not 100% sure how you're going to get all of your defensive linemen on the field at the same time. Like, these guys do need to get snaps as young rookie players in order to develop. And I feel like you have a lot of edge rushers. You re-signed, what's his face this offseason? Can't remember who it was. Or I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think he was a part of the 2020 draft, 2021. Dan, you might know who I'm talking about.
And so what position are we talking about?
Edge. You re-signed this offseason?
It was AJ Epinesa.
AJ Epinesa, yeah, as a Patriots fans, we were big fans of him during that process. So you re-signed him. I'm just not sure how you're going to get Javon Solomon on the field right away, but he is a guy that I really do like. And this was your best value pick. It's not even close, hands down. This was your best value pick. And as a Patriots fan, I was like, damn, of course he went to the Buffalo Bills, because he is a stud pass rusher. So a couple things that I would have ultimately done different for the Bills, but I think that this was a solid draft.
Oh, yeah.
And your grade was B?
Yeah, B.
How about you, TD? What do you think of the Buffalo Bill draft? And what's your letter grade? Your mic is muted, TD.
My bad. Y'all didn't hear me say trash. I'm just playing. Listen, I'm only focused on the left side of this, okay? The right side, who cares? All right. Listen. You get Keon Coleman. I love it. You replace Stephon Diggs. Did you need a player as good as Stephon Diggs? No, but Keon Coleman has high upside. Will he be a Stephon Diggs? I don't think so. I see a better version of Devontae Parker. But that's all Josh Allen needs. You know, a guy who can go up and get it. I truly do believe that y'all didn't need Stephon Diggs. I told you this. I told you this maybe 2 years ago. Yeah. I was having this conversation on the round table that, believe it or not, you don't need Stephon Diggs. I think that you would be better without him. You know, I know people laughed and all that crazy stuff, and here we are today. But Keon Coleman is a better fit for the Buffalo Bills because, again, you need a guy who's going to bail Josh Allen out. And I'm not saying that to throw shade or be funny. Seriously, you need a guy when he's in trouble, when he flings it up, that can go make a play for him. where everything doesn't have to be perfect. The guy doesn't have to be wide open. Okay. So I like the pick. And then you also traded down to do it and pick up additional picks. So good job out of Buffalo Bills. You got stronger in that area for the team chemistry, in my opinion. Then you talk about Cole Bishop, man. Let's call it what it is. He's Poyer's replacement. He can do multiple things. I love this pick for the Buffalo Bills because you're looking into the future, but a guy who can actually contribute today. So that's what was important to me. Then you go with Dwayne Carter, defensive tackle. That's a rotation piece, but he's going to fit in very well with the tricycle there. And then he's going to take over next year as a starter as you move on from the veteran. All right. Running back Ray Davis, you know how I feel about the running back situation. You already got one, but at the same token, it doesn't hurt to have another. And Josh Allen is really the catalyst over there with the running back. So you got, injuries and stuff. You bring in a nice guy. But the pick that I also love outside of Cole Bishop, which is my favorite pick, but the one that I love low-key is Cedric Van Pran. I mean, I wanted Cedric Van Pran if we're going to talk about the freaking 5th round, and that's why, Miami just frustrate me in that regard. But this was a nice pickup. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with that O-line, how y'all going to rotate guys, who's going to be where, but you got a guy on the interior offensive line that can come in and help day one. So I think you made a bold proclamation, Dan, saying Buffalo's going to have a top 3 O-line, top 5 O-line in the NFL. I see no reason why they can't. I really do see no reason why they can't. So I gave the grade for Buffalo a A-. I'm kind of hesitant. I'm feeling a B plus, but I'm going to stick with my A- because you all went in positions that can help the team now. Cedric Van Pran is now. Dwayne Carter rotationally now, Cole Bishop is now, and Keon Coleman is now. You address those things, and then you got some projects for the future on the back end. But I will say this, since they are rookies, they're all still wild cards.
Yeah.
Keon might bust out. Cole might be a bum. Dwayne Carter may not see the field. Cedric Van Pran overrated. We don't know because they're rookies. That's why I'm hesitant. But I love the pick. I love the prospect. Good for the Buffalo Bills. This puts you back where you were last year, but that may not be saying much. That may not be saying much. So, yeah.
Yeah, my thoughts of this draft, the only thing I just still don't understand is the trade back from 32 to 33 just to get an extra 5th. I mean, yeah, I know that you got 3 5th-round picks, but, I still hold on to the idea of just staying at 32, taking Keon Coleman. You have the 5th-year option. I'm someone that really thinks the 5th-year option is an important advantage for your team. So
that's a good point, Richie. That's a good point.
Which 5th-round pick did they acquire, though?
I don't remember. But
if it was 141, then, hey, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just feels like the trade down from 30 to, it's so worth it to get a 5th-year option. You had pick 32. And you move back one spot just to get an extra 5th-round pick. For me, as a fan, I value the 5th-year option rather. But when it comes to Keon Coleman as a prospect, I do like him. I think he's going to fit into what the Bills are trying to do. My only thing is they're putting a lot of responsibilities on this kid early on, right? It really, really does. They're putting a lot of responsibilities on Coleman to be the guy. I mean, listen. Mm-hmm. In a year where you are going all in to win, like the Buffalo Bills have been doing for quite some time since Josh Allen broke out, that's a lot for a rookie receiver to have that type of responsibility. You have Curtis Samuel there. You have Shakir. You do have some other weapons. But I heard a lot of things from Brandon Beane and the Bills front that they're really putting a lot of emphasis on him being the guy. And I think Keon Coleman can take it. I think he has the mentality to, take on that workload. So I do like that pick. You can't go wrong. This is a deep draft class at that position. They got their guy who they feel like fits that team. Josh Allen wanted Keon Coleman. Therefore, if your quarterback's happy, he's going to feed Coleman. I'm expecting Coleman to actually have a really good season for the Bills. I think he's going to be their number 1 receiver this season in terms of productivity personally. Now, Cole Bishop is definitely a home run pick. Funny story, actually. The Jets released their behind-the-scenes draft stuff, and the Jets tried to trade up with the Bills to get that 60th pick. And there were some behind-the-scenes. You heard Joe Douglas on the phone with the Bills trying to get that, and the Bills said, no, we want our guy. The Jets were trying to trade up to get Malachi Corley. We'll talk about that when we break down the Jets draft. The Jets try to go all the way up from 72 to 60. The Bills said, no, we want our guy Cole Bishop. So that tells you right there how much the Bills love Cole Bishop, is that the Jets were offering them a package to trade down, and they declined it to get their guy. And listen, I thought it would have been a big mistake for the Bills to not get a piece to the secondary early in this draft. And I think Cole Bishop is going to be a player that's going to start immediately. Dwayne Carter, now that's a player that's going to definitely, impact a defense that's trying to build around Ed Oliver, get some more talent on the inside of the defensive line. Ray Davis is going to complement James Cook well. And I'm honestly giving this Bills draft a B+. I actually like this a lot. They got your guy Javon Solomon later in the draft, who you've been really pounding the table for. The rest of the draft is definitely dart throws, but I give the Bills a solid B+. I think this is a good draft. I think this is a good draft. Solomon.
Yeah. Dude. Well, look at that. Who were to think that the actual Bills representative would provide the lowest grade of the Buffalo?
Yeah, dude, I thought you were going to be a homer. I'm going to go hold you.
Hey, you know what, man? I mean, maybe I
probably the most realistic.
But so here's my take on Coleman, man. I think everybody thought that Coleman was supposed to be a replacement for Stephon Diggs. The way that I look at it is that Keon Coleman was a replacement for what Gabe Davis should have been, in my opinion. He is a player that should have been what Gabe Davis was for the Bills. A lot more consistent with his hands, similar size, what have you. And then I think Curtis Samuel, just based off of his skill set, like as far as his speed, as far as his route tree, as far as his burst, that's a temporary replacement for Stephon Diggs, in my opinion. It's definitely not a Stephon Diggs, but when you look at the skill sets, I think people need to start thinking, okay, if you wanted to compare the offense from the Bills a couple of years ago, you had Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. I think Keon Coleman is more of a replacement for Gabe, and then Curtis Samuel is more of a replacement for Stephon Diggs, as far as skill sets are concerned.
Yeah, 100% agree with that, Dan.
Yeah. Those are the grades from we see the poll. 47% majority gives the Bills a B as well. So thank you guys for participating in the poll. Next up, but before we get up to next up, we got to give a shout out to an official sportsbook sponsor, Mr. BetUS. Okay, shout out to BetUS. I'm curious to get the odds of the division. I don't think they've changed, so I'm definitely curious to see what the odds are like on here. The AFC East odds have been pretty steady. Yeah, so they've been pretty steady. Pre-draft and post-draft, no movements on those lines. Very interesting stuff there. But if you guys want to sign up for BetUS, you know the drill by now. Sign up for BetUS using the link down below in the description to receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,500. Shout out to BetUS. They have a 24/7 hour customer service where you can give them a ring and have them make the bets for you. Very reliable, fast 24-hour payouts. Definitely big time shout out to BetUS, the official sportsbook sponsor of Roundtable Sports. Cannot wait to continue partnering up with BetUS for the 2024 season.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
All right. Let's get into the next team.
Miami!
We'll save the best for last. Therefore,
well, Jets go.
We got the Miami Dolphins draft class up.
Are you hating, Richie?
I ain't hating, bro.
It's the best image we can find. We haven't seen the names, man.
Bro, literally, the Dolphins are terrible at graphics. I couldn't find a Dolphins graphic with their whole draft class. I literally been searching the internet for this whole hour, but
so the
they got to hear of the
AFC's Roundtable needs to hit them up.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, I got a sick Jets graphic ready to go, but hey. We'll start off with TD, though. TD, while I look for another graphic, why don't you give your thoughts and your grade of how the Miami Dolphins did in the 2024 class?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Miami Dolphins at pick 21 had their pick. They didn't trade up. They didn't trade down. There were a lot of callers trying to trade down to that spot. But Miami loved who they were going to select. So they decided, based off of what was being offered, they'd rather select Chop Robinson, the edge out of Penn State. Listen, it's coming out today that a lot of teams had Chop Robinson literally like in their top 20. One team had him at 12 on their board. which is interesting. This guy is going to come in at the end of the day and help us right away, only because Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips are both coming off of major injuries. Bradley Chubb's was a little later than Jalen Phillips, so Chubb may not be able to make it back in time for the season to start. So Chop Robinson may be able to have an opportunity to start day one, okay, next to Jalen Phillips, hopefully, if he comes back healthy. And we're going to find out who he is as a player automatically coming into day one in the league. But Chop Robinson is a very good player. He's very fast. He's a speed edge rusher. He gets at the quarterback. He disrupts everything that the quarterback in the offense is trying to do. He causes pressures all over the place, just wreaking havoc. Now, some of the things that he needs to improve on is obviously his tackling and his run stopping ability. He graded out pretty poor in that area, but he's not a finished product. And our general manager actually on draft night admitted that. Is he a finished product? No, but we feel like the upside cannot be taught or beat. So Chop Robinson, really good pick. The only thing that I didn't like about it is that I feel at 21, there were opportunities to fill holes that the team also had that are major holes, okay, like the defensive tackle position, also the interior offensive line position, especially seeing Barton right on the board. But we went in this route, so not mad about it. Just feel like we probably could have went another direction, but either way, it's a win for the Dolphins. Then you go down to the second round, number 55, Patrick Paul, offensive tackle out of Houston. Listen, this is also a project. A lot of people want to make it seem like it's just a day one done deal. He has the deliverables. I mean, this guy's a mammoth of a man. I mean, just a big guy at the end of the day. Now, his run blocking is something to be desired. We got to see how that translates in the NFL, but his pass blocking is elite. He's a very good pass blocker, big body, not letting anybody really bully him, which is a great sign for the Miami Dolphins. But can he start right away? No, because you paid Austin Jackson on the right side, and you have Teron Armstead right now. But Teron Armstead always, gets hurt. We hope he doesn't. So if Teron Armstead gets hurt, the rookie will be able to come in and provide valuable time as a starter for the Dolphins. But that's contingent on something happening. A lot of people out here trying to put this narrative, kick him to guard. He is not a guard, okay? He is not a guard, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't know too many 6'7" guards, 330-pound 6'7" guards. There ain't nothing that tells you he can translate to a guard. A lot of people are trying to make it seem like maybe he can play guard only because people want to justify the second or our second pick at number 55. Okay? Listen, this is not a right away move. This is a future move and a plug in for Armstead if he gets hurt, or Austin Jackson because you want him to try to become a swing tackle. Okay? So I actually like the pick, but again, with what was on the board, that's what bothers me about the pick. I like a lot of our picks. The problem I have is what was on the board kind of like makes me a little frustrated about it, okay? But the Dolphins didn't go wrong either way. It's just a personal preference. I want that defensive tackle position solidified. I'm not talking about projects that you want battling for the position. A solidified guy, and I want the interior offensive line solidified, okay? So that's our pick at number 55. Then you go to round 4. We traded up. We wanted our guy. We used the third rounder next year to go to the fourth round at 120 and get Jalen Wright, running back out of Tennessee. Low-key, I love this move. Now, this has a lot of people puzzled. Why are we going to get the running back in the fourth round, though, when you got Raheem Mostert and you got Devin A-Chain? Because Raheem Mostert is old, man. I think he's 30 or 32 years old. That time's coming to an end. They rewarded him with some money, but he's probably going to play this year, and then they're going to move on. And that's why you bring in Jalen Wright. Also, what I love about Jalen Wright, that 4.38 speed isn't the only thing. A lot of people don't know he averaged 7.4 yards per carry last season. Like for real, 7.4 yards a carry, okay? He can also catch the ball out of the backfield, but above all, he's a bigger back. We had to be the worst team in the NFL on 3rd and short and 4th and short. And he's a big back that may be able to fix that issue for us. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, put him in the game. Maybe he falls forward. A-Chain and Mostert wasn't doing that for us. So I love that pick. Muhammad Kamara out of Colorado State, one of the most underrated picks in the draft. This was a steal for the Dolphins. Listen, this kid is an engine, a motor. Now, this is a future move because we're starting to look like we might be loaded in the room. But I'm telling you, this guy is going to help us move off of Bradley Chubb next year easily. I'm telling you, this Bradley Chubb last year, and this move right here might be the sign on the wall, not just the Chop Robinson move, which that should be a sign on the wall too, but this one right here is going to solidify this is Bradley Chubb's last year, okay? 45 tackles for a loss in his collegiate career, 29 and a half career sacks. Literally, I mean, this is the guy, okay? His last season, he had 13 sacks, all right? Round 6, the steal of the draft, Malik Washington, wide receiver out of Virginia. Who got a better number 3 in the NFL?
I'm sure there's teams.
See, you just throw that out there and saying, I'm sure.
Wait.
Whoa.
Did you just say Malik Washington's the best number 3?
Wait. Controversy now?
No. Wait.
Y'all scared now?
I need to make sure I heard what you said.
Over him.
Did you just say Malik Washington is the best number 3 in the NFL?
I said, who has better number 3 in the NFL? See,
Malachi Corley is better. Malachi Corley. Malachi Corley.
Richie, stop.
What do you
Who's the number 1 and 2?
Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams.
Stop, man. Mike Williams washed. Stop. Get out.
What are you just disrespecting Mike Williams, bro?
He washed. Listen.
What makes you think he's washed?
It's downhill.
What proof is there?
It's downhill from here, Richie. Listen, and stop. At the end of the day, like I said, man, Malik Washington, who got a better number 3 in the NFL?
Many people. I love Malik Washington as a pick. Actually, I absolutely love that. But relax.
Yeah, I mean,
relax.
So I'd probably put Shakir above Malik Washington, and then I'd probably take Malachi Corley up. Like, trust me, I love Malik Washington.
This man said Shakir over Malachi. Oh my God,
bro.
Listen,
bro,
let me finish my evaluation, haters. Let me finish my evaluation. Malik Washington, 1, 2, 3 punch. Who got the best receiving core league? Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Malik Washington is over.
Ricky Purcell, the chat says Ricky Purcell's a better number 3. Done.
That's just a fact.
What do you mean
that's
stop? What do you mean stop? That's like objective.
Stop. Listen. Best 3 receiving core in the NFL. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Malik Washington.
Bro.
Come on, no more Cedric Wilson and all that. Man, let's go. Anyway,
bro,
I ain't even got to say nothing about Malik Washington. I guess I'm going to say something. Listen, he's the guy you bring in. He's the guy you bring in as a number 3, no pressure starting out. And then when we move on from Tyreek's money next year or the year after, Waddle goes to number 1, Malik Washington goes to number 2, and we still set to go. So I love what they did there. And the last pick in the draft, Patrick McMorris, safety out of California, dual threat guy. He's going to be back there with Jordan Poyer, seeing if, he works out. We don't know. It's a project. He has the intangibles, a good tackler, and can be in the box, be in the backside, everything. But at the same token, let's see if he can take over for Poyer after this year as a future piece. And then Taj Washington, wide receiver out of USC. This is going to be a special teams ace. I mean, this guy's 5'10", 175 pounds, but I think this is more of a special teams ace, a guy that we can use as a little weapon coming across the middle. McDaniel can use him in multiple ways. Just a developmental piece right here. I like the pick though, but I gave the Miami Dolphins overall a B because we got a lot of great picks for the future. But again, it doesn't do the justice we're going to need right now while Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, Bradley Chubb, Raheem Mostert, and I'm missing one. But the stars, the guys that we paid all the money to, we got a window now. A lot of them ain't going to be here after this year. So I would have liked for us to really go for that window all in. And instead, we got some depth pieces that can take over in the future as starters. So I like what we did, but I gave it a B.
All right. Well, I'm curious to get your guys' thoughts. Before we get deeper into your guys' thoughts, we have some super chats. The big fella says the best pick per team, Bills, Ray Davis. Miami, Jalen Wright. Patriots, trash. Jets.
We arguably had the best draft in the entire AFC, but okay. I don't know how that makes any
doesn't
sense.
agree.
Well, the big fella is just upset because we ruined his childhood time after time after time after time after time, just like the rest of you guys on the panel. So
Will with a fake image that will never happen in real life as his profile.
What is
picture.
Yeah, go. That's I love that.
That's actually a dope edit.
No,
That's
that is sick.
That's a dope edit.
That dude, Richie, man. Oh my god, man.
Hey,
That's
bro.
cool. I like that.
I
That looks
love
real
that.
too.
I've heard rumors recently that
dope.
the Jets are moving back into Queens in a couple years. Will, if this happened, I'd be the happiest person alive, bro. Get them out of Jersey, man. Bring them back home to Queens. Bring them back to where they belong. Oh my gosh, I wish. Oh. I mean, the thing where this is stemming from, the Jets want out, but the Giants are the owners that's holding it up. The Jets want a new stadium. The Giants are like, no. The Jets want a new field. The Giants are saying no. So the Giants are the stubborn old farts in this, and the Jets are trying to figure out a way to get out of the stadium and try to get the proper grass. And the Giants are just the Maros are just a whack ownership, man. Not to say the Jets ownership's any better, but
if you want to trigger Richie, just call them the New Jersey Jets.
Yeah.
honestly, after going to training camp back-to-back years and going to Jersey, I fell in love with it to the point where I'm like, yeah, call them the Jersey Jets. I don't give a damn.
Did you really?
I loved it. It was actually so nice. I'm like, damn, I drove into the town of where the training camp is. There's Jets flags on the poles. I feel like it's being welcomed to like, wow, this is where I'm meant to be, baby. Let's go. It's Jets town. And you could freaking see Manhattan from the stadium. So I really don't even care.
So are there real rumors though?
Yeah,
So
it's
they might be
speculation. Listen, there's a 5-year out on the lease of MetLife, and there's a little pocket of land where the Mets are building Citi Field up around it. I still think it's far-fetched. The Jets fans will continuously hold on to that. The Jets want a retractable roof. They want a lot of things that the Giants don't agree with. So, bro, if that happens, I will be a happy man. TD's chair with a $5. I'm happy with the Finns draft picks only because TD didn't toss me across the room during the draft. Go Bills. Oh, right when TD leaves.
Good. I like
Right when
that.
TD leaves. We got to bring this one back when he's back. TD's
TD's
chair. Thank you.
TD's chair.
Colby, what do you think of the Dolphins draft class?
Yeah, I ain't even gonna hold you. This was the worst in the AFC East. It's not close. I don't mean to get on the Dolphins, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep 100 with you. You know, I gave the Bills a respective grade when the Jets come along. Spoiler alert: I gave them a respective grade. So it's not like I can't give props to the AFC East when it comes along, but I just don't like how this went for the Miami Dolphins. And even watching TD live when we were live on Bleacher Report, man, this dude was upset. This dude was crying in the chat. Like he just saw a player he wanted after player he wanted going off the board, some going to the AFC East. Look, I see Chop Robinson. I had a day 2 grade on him. I never thought that he was a day 1. I thought there were better options on the board ultimately. I thought that this was a push at the 21st overall pick. At the end of the day, who knows, right? Who knows? Because the way that we project players is very different than the way that NFL teams actually project players. So maybe he really was a first-round projection by all 32 NFL teams. Who knows? But based off of what we know, based off of really every single projection, I thought that this was a reach for Chop Robinson. I do like that they went defensive line because I think you guys need massive help, whether that's on edge, whether that's on interior. So I do like that. You know, that's where you decided to go with your first overall pick. I just don't necessarily love the value in which you got it. Like you said, though, a pure like speed to power rusher, which can give offensive linemen some trouble in today's NFL. So, I mean, at least you got that going for you. Second round here, Patrick Paul. I like Patrick Paul. I had a 3rd round grade on him, but I do understand that if you wanted to get your tackle, this was probably your last chance to get like that second batch of tackles before it was like this massive drop off in like the 5th, 6th, 7th round with developmental guys. Big fan of Patrick Paul, purely a left tackle. I don't understand the pick. Good player, don't understand the pick here for you. If you wanted a guy that really wasn't going to play for you year 1, maybe not year 2, is more of a developmental guy that you're kind of hoping to be a backup that can transition to a starter, why are you using a 2nd round pick on him? You had so many other holes to go to. So many other holes. I would have even said go to cornerback here before I would say go to offensive tackle. But you guys still did. And look, I get it. You got to keep Tua healthy. I understand that. You got to keep Tua healthy because let's not forget the Miami Dolphins continuously put his life at risk and almost ended his entire career. Don't think I forgot about that. None of us have. I think there were better options for you to go than offensive tackle because the way that I see it, in rounds 1, in rounds 2, even rounds 3, those are guys that you're expecting to make an immediate impact for you year 1. And for a team that is a contender like the Miami Dolphins, for a team that has the opportunity to compete for a Super Bowl year after year, I think there were better options for you to go to. Again, you want that developmental tackle. I'm perfectly fine with it. But as long as your offensive lineman, your starting offensive lineman, stay healthy, Patrick Paul isn't going to play this upcoming season. Moving on here, though, to round 4, because you didn't have a 3rd-round pick, you go Jalen Wright. Excellent value. This honestly might be the best value pick that the Miami Dolphins got. But again, it comes down to the fact on you had bigger needs with players that were still on the board that you could have gone with, and you didn't do so, okay? You have 2 good running backs currently, a great 1-2 punch that TD likes to hype up all the time. If you wanted a developmental running back, you could have gotten that guy later. And look, again, I get it. Jalen Wright, excellent value. I had him as like my 2nd or 3rd best running back in this entire class. So again, I like the value you got. But in the 4th round, you have bigger needs, and if you're looking for an RB3 to a developmental running back, you can easily get that in the 5th round, the 6th round, the 7th round. Heck, you can get a running back as a UDFA who can develop into a starting running back because that's what the running back market has turned into. So I just don't like the value yet again with where the Miami Dolphins have gone in these early rounds. Why are you not going with positions that can make an immediate day 1 impact? Positions that you actually need help with. Anyway, moving on here to round 5, you double up at edge rusher. This is something that I do like that the Miami Dolphins did. You lost some edge defenders. You're banged up at the edge position. You go Chop Robinson in round 1. I thought that this was good value. I'm a big Muhammad Kamara fan, a really good pass rusher, and I like the potential for this. So honestly, nothing to say about that pick whatsoever. I like that. And then you go Malik Washington. Again, I don't hate the value. He plays bigger than his ultimate size, but he's 5'8". He's 5'8". Why do the Miami Dolphins always have to go with undersized wide receivers? Look, I get it. Congrats. He plays bigger than his actual size. But at the end of the day, size matters, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. I hate to tell all of the fans in the chat, 'cause I know it's like the majority of men. Look, I'll be the one to keep it real with you. Size does matter, especially at wide receiver in the NFL. And they have a lot of guys who are like in that 5'10" and kind of lower range. They don't have a guy who's going to dictate coverage on the outside. And you didn't add anything different here. You have a small wide receiver 3 in Braxton Berrios that you could have made work. He's shown in the past to be able to make it work. And again, you could have gone with a bigger position of need here, and you didn't do it. And then kind of looking here at Taj Washington, you doubled up at wide receiver. Look, it's a 6th and 7th round. At the end of the day, you kind of just want players who are going to hit, but why not take a chance at a player of a bigger need? Why did you double up at wide receiver? You have your wide receiver 1. You have your wide receiver 2. You have Braxton Berrios. You didn't need to double up at wide receiver, okay? I like you to double up at edge, but get a cornerback, get a safety, draft a single interior defensive lineman. Again, I just, for a Miami Dolphins fan, I didn't love it. You got some good players, but like TD said, congrats. They're all depth to developmental players, even the guys that you took in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th, or not 3rd round, but 2nd and 4th round. So I'm sorry, but even a C+ might be generous.
Stop, man.
No, it might be generous, TD. Be real with yourself.
C+.
Damn.
Be real. The Miami Dolphins.
All right. So, I mean, I feel like Colby really said everything that I had to say about this Miami Dolphins draft. I was a bit worse on that. I had C- in this situation.
Oh,
Here is the thing about it. All right. From an objective take, like from an objective standpoint, you look at the Miami Dolphins and you would say hands down, their biggest needs going into the draft was interior offensive line and also defensive tackle for when Wilkins ended up going. And then with your interior offensive line being
Hunt and Connor.
Yeah. I could see like going after like some like best player available situation in like the first or the second, and then maybe waiting for the later rounds to grab what was an actual necessity. But the Dolphins didn't take a single interior offensive lineman. They didn't take a single defensive tackle. And I know like a lot of people would say, oh, well, so Armstead's always hurt. So we needed a backup like within this tackle situation. Or say, for example, edge rusher. Same thing with Phillips. You know, he's coming off of an injury. Here's the thing. I feel like that like y'all's priorities were completely switched around. I feel like that depth at the tackle position to try and address a potential injury that you're not even sure is going to happen. Same thing when it comes down into that offensive tackle. Your biggest priority should have been filling in the holes that are truly gaping holes. And that was interior offensive line. And then also within that defensive tackle situation, not adding a single player just did not make sense to me, especially passing on Graham Barton. I mean, I almost thought for a fact that the Dolphins were going to go for Graham Barton in the first. I thought that would have been the perfect pick for that. Or even at one point, I'm pretty sure JPJ, maybe he went slightly before your second rounder. I could be wrong, but even Cedric Van Pran, stuff like that. That was my biggest issue. I love Malik Washington. And I mean, listen, y'all love speed. That's fantastic. But I mean, you're talking about a QB, right? That like a lot of Dolphins fans can blame the offensive line for a lot of the times of why Tua has to be so fast. I feel like you missed the bell, right? I feel like that this was almost a message from the front office that they're trying to plan to be competitive, like truly competitive in 2 years rather than this year. So that's why I just feel like their priorities just were not there. Like I like Chop Robinson. I like Patrick Paul. I love Muhammad Kamara as well. He was an absolute steal. It's not the players I don't like. It's just, I don't know. I just felt like that the priorities were backwards with this.
You know what? Before Richie goes, you know what I also think that happened with the Dolphins? I think that we were in the teens and it was like, man, everybody's falling. We got a big board, but man, everybody's falling. Guys that we didn't even
gamble, right?
Yeah, no, guys we didn't even think we could get. Dallas Turner's on the board. Up, he goes at 17. Yeah, I think the Dolphins wanted Jared Verse. I think they wanted Jared Verse, and when he went at 19, it was he's gone. And then I think they also wanted Troy Fautanu and offensive guard. Oh, he's gone. Well, best player available on our board. Let's go Chop Robinson. We loved him. I think that's what was happening to the Miami Dolphins, bro. And the same thing in the second round, I believe. They had their big board, and what they did from the targeted players they wanted when they were gone, they literally said, all right, let's go best available on our board, and it was Chop Robinson. Because when you think about it, we didn't go need, we went best available because which is more valuable, a defensive end that's valued in the second round or a center valued in the first? You see what I'm saying? You know how centers, defensive end is always a more valuable position, okay? And you need pass rushers. So that's what I think happened here because everybody's like, how could you pass on Barton? But we're thinking from a standpoint of our need. We need that. They didn't care. They went best player available, best value at the pick. And the defensive ends had already started coming off the board with Verse and Turner. So I think that's what they did in that situation.
Wow. Interesting stuff. So my thoughts of the Miami Dolphins draft. Listen, man, I think they addressed the most premier positions in the first and second round. You got to always invest in the trenches. I'm a big, big fan of that. Okay, got to go with edge, got to go with tackle. But my only issue is the players that they picked, right? Chop Robinson is a guy that he kind of reminds me low-key of the Will McDonald pick last year for the Jets. From the standpoint, he's a speed rusher. No one really expected that to be the pick. Has upside, but is a little bit more of a project. Can sit. He's not going to sit. He's going to play. But he gives you a long-term solution there where, Jalen Phillips coming off an Achilles, Chubb coming off an injury, his last year coming through. That Chop Robinson pick, if he develops into that speed rusher, he can get to the quarterback and get hurries. That's going to be a gem. But the thing is, I don't think he's going to be ready to go right away, which is not a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. Patrick Paul, I wanted the Jets to actually target him if they did not go offensive line in the first round, but more third round. So the Miami Dolphins, I hate when people say, like, listen, you can say, oh, it's a reach. But if the Miami Dolphins loved him and they feel like Patrick Paul could be their future, then that's why they got him. And they love that guy, and they brought him into the building. I like Patrick Paul as a prospect. Yes, the second round seems a reach, but the Dolphins like him. I actually like the Patrick Paul pick for the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Jalen Wright, now you can argue that it's not a good move, but at the same time, I'm a believer in drafting a running back every single year because you want to keep that position fresh. You want to keep it cheap. You want to keep the legs fresh. And it's a position that no one really wants to pay, right? So I think for the Dolphins to get now their future number 1 and number 2 in A-Chain and Wright, it makes sense, right? I mean, Mostert's not here forever. He's 31 years old. So, and you know what McDaniel likes to do as a coach? He likes to run that ball. They have an elite run scheme. I always admire them for what they do in terms of running the football. They get another edge, a guy that I wanted the Jets to target later on in Kamara in the 5th round. And then to top it all off, they get a sleeper in Malik Washington, who was one of my favorite wide receivers later in this draft. And they double dip at playmaker with Taj Washington, of course, getting McMorris as well in that 6th round. But when it comes to those 2 receivers they got, the Washington twins, I like those picks for Miami. I genuinely do. You have Tyreek, you have Jalen Waddle, but who do you have for the future when Tyreek leaves? Now you have depth at the position. You need to be able to have people to step in case one of those 2 guys go down. I actually have a B- for the Miami Dolphins draft. I actually like it more than it seems like the rest of the panel. So I'm going to give it a B-, man. I think that they address some needs. I think they got pieces to develop for the future. And I think it's just unfair to expect teams to go out there in an NFL draft and just get all win now moves. Like, it's very hard to do that in the draft to just get, this player is going to help us win right away. Come on, rookie, carry us. Like, that's not the case, man. It really isn't the case. And I feel like for fans who expect to get win now moves in the draft at every single round is just unfair. And I think that if you're a team that is able to draft for the future, especially at premier positions like tackle and edge rusher, like the Miami Dolphins did, adding to their strengths, that is the running game and the wide receiver position, because you want to make sure your good positions stay great. And that's what the Dolphins did. A-Chain and Mostert are really good. How about you add Wright? Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, they're good. How about you add the 2 Washington boys at the end of the draft? So I think the Miami Dolphins did a pretty good job. I'm not going to rave about them. I don't think they stole the draft and won it all. But I think it's an underrated draft that could be really good for the future for the Miami Dolphins.
So, Rich, let me ask you this question real quick. My bad, Kobe.
No, man, you good. I was going to say, it's honestly quick. I'm going to say, what's funny is that it sounds like the Miami Dolphins are probably going to have the lowest graded draft in the AFC East here. And
no, it doesn't.
It's kind of funny because every time we did mock drafts, TD was also always in last place amongst the AFC.
Richie an F, so no.
How about that?
Let me ask you this, Richie. If Sauce Gardner was a free agent and you lost him last year, would you all have addressed that position in the draft? And if so, where?
If we lost Sauce Gardner?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we drafted our corner, baby, the superstar from the CFL. I mean, that would have been a hole in the roster if we don't have Sauce. So I guess
a major one with how y'all play defense, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what type of draft capital would you have invested in that position?
I still think the offense would have been more of a priority for this Jets team.
Okay, so that's fine.
I think yeah, I mean, listen, we drafted Sauce in the 4th overall pick, and honestly, heading into that draft, Jets fans would tell you we don't need a corner. But they went best player available and got Sauce, which made him who he is. So that's how the Jets approached the draft. We went into that draft content with DJ Reed and Bryce Hall as our starters and Brennan Eccles, and we're like, we don't need a corner, but if Sauce is there, we should get him. And they did that. They went best player available when they drafted Sauce. They didn't go for him because we needed a corner.
No,
so I think I know where you're going with this.
Though I'm just saying, if you lost him with the makeup of your team in a win now mode right now, and all your other stuff was filled, how much of a priority would they have put at the cornerback position for or Arnold?
Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to where the board falls. I don't think they would have drafted a corner in the 1st round based off this class. Maybe they would have drafted one in the 3rd round, the mid rounds to fill that position up, or address it in free agency to replace him, but I don't think they'd bank on a rookie to replace Sauce right away because it's
But
tough.
you wouldn't have neglected it altogether.
No, probably not.
See, and I think that's the problem Dolphin fans have. We didn't draft a single interior offensive lineman. We didn't draft a single defensive tackle. And look at the window we're in now with these big contracts that are coming up, and you're probably going to move on from them. It's like you bring all these big name guys in, Tyreek and all of these guys, Chubb, Ramsey. And if we don't do anything this year and they all get cut due to cap because we got to pay Waddle, we got to pay Phillips, we got to pay everybody, right? Tua, is that not a failure for that rebuild?
Yeah, seems like it to me.
And that's the problem Dolphin fans are having, because at the end of the day, that's why we feel like we need win now moves, because this is our window right now. This is our opportunity. We're not going to keep all those guys after next year. So I don't know, man. It is what it is. But y'all hating on the grades. I don't think they that bad, but y'all all in the C's and stuff. I respect yours, Richie. But Dan and Kobe, y'all.
Of course you do.
Well, we shall see. Now, last but not least, let's talk about these damn New York Football Jets, right? F.
Oh,
right.
damn! He disrespected. He disrespected the Dolphins, and he immediately shat on you. I feel like TD, you're gonna have to be the one that goes first after Rich.
It is what it is. I'm used to the hate, baby. It fuels the soul, Kobe. Let it bring it on. But let's talk about the New York Jets 2024 draft class, baby.
Look at that graphic, Richie. Is that a Jets media graphic I see?
That is a Jets media graphic, as you can tell. I don't gotta, go on Google to find the Jets draft class. I just go my own little files on my computer for mine.
Shade.
Nah, man, come on now. You know what it is. But listen, man, before I go into it, or come on, can one of you guys put a poll in the chat for me while I do this, since I'm talking about my Jets? End the poll that's currently in the chat and then re-put one. What would you grade the Jets draft class? A, B, C, or D? Can one of you guys do that? If not, forget it.
Dan, are you signing in?
Yes. Listen, this Jets draft is very good. Now, I've been getting not clowned, but some people are like calling me out of being a little bit too happy. And they're like, oh, Richie just loves everything the Jets do. Like, if you guys have been watching my pre-draft stuff, you know why I'm in love with this draft. They got the people I wanted. That is never the case. Last year, the Jets got one player that I really wanted. That was Joe Tippmann in the second round, and that was fulfilling. 2 years ago, they got Jermaine Johnson, and I was on cloud nine. They got Sauce Gardner. I was on cloud nine. They got all the players I wanted. This year, they not only got the wide receiver I wanted, the running back that I wanted, but they got the quarterback that I wanted. They got the quarterback that I wanted. And he's the feature of this graphic for a reason, okay? He is the feature. Richie, you should have taken a quarterback. We did. What do you mean? Now, listen, I'm going to start off with the first round, then we'll go down from here. The New York Jets did such a tremendous job with the trades, where they got gifted on a silver platter free capital from moving back from 10 to 11. They tried to trade up for a wide receiver. Did not work. They went with plan B. They stuck at 10. They traded back to get a fourth and a fifth for a 6th-round pick. They take Olufashinu, their guy, who they graded as the best pass-protecting left tackle in the entire draft class. He can sit and learn behind Tyron Smith. It's an investment for the future. It's also an investment for the immediate depth on that roster, because the one thing we can all say about the New York Jets is that they have a lot of injury concerns, especially on that offensive line. So if Tyron Smith is unable to stay healthy for a full season, which he has not been able to do recently, Olu will be ready to go to start at that left tackle spot. This is a piece for the future. Mekhi Becton was unfortunately a bust, which was Joe Douglas's first ever draft pick as a Jets GM. He had to replace Mekhi Becton with somebody, and now we got Olu. Now the New York Jets have 3 young stud offensive linemen that they drafted in the last few years. Elijah Vera Tucker, the Jets just picked up his 5th-year option. Okay, we drafted Joe Tippmann last year, who's our franchise center, who was the best rookie center in the entire draft from last year's class. And now we got Olu, who a lot of people are raving about, who has the biggest upside in terms of pass protection. Now, the biggest weakness for him is run blocking. He fits the scheme. He fits the violence. He fits the type of mindset the Jets are doing. So I got no problem with the Jets going with Olu over a guy like Brock Bowers, especially with all the top 3 receivers gone. Now, getting into the second pick, Malachi Corley, the best part about this pick for me is that they got their guy, okay? They went into day 2, and I don't know if you saw this, but Robert Saleh sent Joe Douglas a text on Friday morning of day 2 of the NFL draft, and it was a picture of Malachi Corley, and it said, whatever it takes. And Joe Douglas responded, whatever it takes. They had their eyes set on Malachi Corley right away, and they only had one pick on day 2, and that was in the 3rd round at pick 72. The New York Jets just released an episode. I would highly recommend it, even if you're not a Jets fan. It's just really cool to see behind the scenes, and the Jets do a lot of really good stuff with that type of things, production-wise. But you see the behind the scenes of Joe Douglas calling every single GM to get into the 2nd round. And we were live on Bleacher Report. You remember I told you guys the Jets are trying to trade up. The Jets are trying to trade up. The Jets are trying to trade up. And they were trying to trade up for Malachi Corley the entire time. They weren't trying to trade up for whatever receiver was on the board. They were trying to trade up for Malachi. And they tried to trade up with the Bills. They said no. They tried to trade up with Washington. They said no. They drafted the tight end, Ben Sinnott. They tried to trade up for a lot of people, and everybody kept saying no to Joe Douglas. And then luckily for the Jets, Malachi kept falling, and at the top pick of the 3rd round, the Panthers were willing to trade back with the Jets, and they got their guy, the yak monster of Malachi Corley. We have Garrett Wilson, who will juke you out and get separation and go around you. We have Mike Williams, who will go over the top. And now we got Malachi Corley to run right through you. This is an absolute monster of a human being. He is a unit. This guy's built different. He is absolutely ready to be a game changer from day number 1. He's just a unique type of weapon. And the cool thing about Malachi Corley is you listen to some interviews with him, the thing that he's working on is his route tree, right? He's known as a gadget type of guy. You can slip out a screen pass, he'll take it to a 1st down, or maybe he'll take it to house. He'll break a few tackles, but he's trying to really finesse his route tree. And if he does, if he can elevate that part of his game, and another knock on him is, he played at Western Kentucky. He didn't play a good competition. Well, you look at the tape, bro. He was literally a man amongst boys. Like, if that's a negative, like he had bad competition, he lit up Ohio State when they played Ohio State at 8 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown. So I think that narrative is just absolutely bogus. So Malachi Corley, I absolutely love this pick, especially from the standpoint that the Jets loved him and they wanted him and they got their guy in Corley. So that is a big, big get for the Jets offense. Now going into the next pick in Braylon Allen, you guys know every single mock draft that we did, I always wanted the Jets to get Braylon Allen. This is a boy right here. This is a guy right here in Braylon Allen who is built up 6'2", 240. 20 years old, the first player ever to get drafted that is born in the year of 2004. Yeah, how about that? He's 20 years old, going to be 21 in January. This is a kid that is ready to play immediately. Now, the New York Jets are transitioning their run scheme. Okay, they're transitioning to a new style of running. They had a outside zone speed scheme with Breece Hall and Izzy, but now after all the offseason additions of getting John Simpson from the Baltimore Ravens, adding Tyron Smith, bringing in Morgan Moses, the Jets are actually transitioning to a new scheme offensively, which is a power gap scheme, kind of like an uphill type of like punch you in the throat type of stuff. A downhill scheme, man scheme. They're kind of going away from the zone scheme, and that's why they wanted to get Braylon Allen, because he's a bruiser. You have the flashy car of Breece Hall, who can do it all, and now you want to get dirty, you give it to Braylon Allen on short yardage situations on the goal line or 3rd and goal situations. He's very good at pass protection as well, and I think that he's going to be a great complement for Breece Hall. He was my favorite running back in this class. Absolutely love this pick. Now getting into Jordan Travis, which is my favorite pick in this entire class. They traded up for him at 171. I cannot stop raving about why I love Jordan Travis. I broke down a whole video of if he could be the potential quarterback 1 for the New York Jets. We know the situation he's going into, okay? He has Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor to learn behind, 2 sound veterans, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it in Aaron, and then one of the best reliable veteran quarterbacks in terms of like just always being there as a quarterback number 2 in Tyrod Taylor. Jordan Travis has so many qualities to his game, and my favorite part about his game personally is his high IQ and his overall natural leadership. You could talk about the physical ability of his athleticism, his escapability, his mobility, his arm strength, his accuracy. Those are all good things, but I love that he actually has a good head on his shoulders, and he feels like he understands the game of football. He can go through his reads. He has a good knowledge for the game, and that tells me a lot of good things about him, especially that he's going to be taking mostly mental reps as a rookie, because he might be placed on IR because he's still recovering from that injury. I personally think if he did not get hurt FSU was on their way to be in the college football playoffs, and he would have been gone way higher in the draft, especially not missing out in the pre-draft process, missing out on the combine, missing out on the pro day. Those all things were things that hurt his draft stock. Now, there, of course, are some things about Jordan Travis's game that he needs to improve on 100%. I'm not going to sit here and say that he would have been a first-round pick. I don't think that. He needs to improve on zip on the ball. He's more of a touch type of guy. Accuracy down the football field. His footwork is sloppy at times. He has some tendencies to throw off his back foot. Those are all some things that I think can get fixed with time. He's not a perfect product. He's a raw piece of clay. Aaron Rodgers has experience, molding a piece of clay like Jordan Love. Now he's got a new Jordan to do it, and his name's Jordan Travis. So we shall see. The biggest head scratcher for this draft for the Jets was definitely drafting 2 running backs, getting Isaiah Davis in the 5th round. This is an interesting one because why would the Jets go after another running back when we just got Braylon Allen? We have Breece Hall. We have Izzy Abanikanda, who we actually like. But it goes back to the Jets going to a new run scheme. Right now, the Jets have 4 running backs. Their running back room is set. The Jets hold on to 4 running backs every single year, and the Jets have 2 speed guys in Breece and Izzy, and now they have 2 power guys in Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. Isaiah Davis is a very good prospect. It's not like I don't like him as a prospect and a player. It's just more like, why are we getting a running back when we could have gone elsewhere? But the more I think about it, the Jets are really trying to run the damn football this year. They do not want to get an injury, and they have 2 speed guys, 2 power guys. So if unfortunately one of the 2 guys goes down, they will always have one of the next 2 people out there. And if you look at Isaiah Davis's tape, man, he is elite at vision, his elusiveness, his footwork, breaking tackles, finding the open gap in the offensive line. Again, he fits that man scheme runner vibe. He fits that downhill type of experience that we're looking for in this new scheme the Jets are implementing here on the offense. So I think the Isaiah Davis pick is the biggest head scratcher move. But hey, if the Jets want to run the football, you got to invest in the running backs for sure. Quantez Stigers is a CFL superstar. This is one of the most fun pieces to this draft. High character. He has a lot of upside in terms of his ball hawking ability. Won Rookie of the Year in the CFL. He has a tremendous story. His story to get to the league is the best story in the NFL draft. And that's not just me saying that as a Jets fan. They were talking about in the NFL Network, talking about in the ESPN when he got drafted. This guy's story, if you guys are interested in it, definitely go look it up because it is really intriguing to see what the New York Jets did to bring him into building. And it was a very emotional when the Jets were able to draft him. His story is off the charts. But him as a football player, the Jets definitely needed to invest in the cornerback room because that's one position that we low-key need to find some depth for the future. DJ Reed has 1 year left on his contract with the New York Jets. Michael Carter II, our starting slot corner, 1 year left on his contract as well. And we have Brennan Eccles, who has 1 year left on his deal, I believe. So the Jets need some reinforcements in the secondary for the future. And then Jalen Key, Mr. Irrelevant. Hey, man, you could bring me an Alabama Crimson Tide safety all day long to develop. The Jets right now have a starting safety in Tony Adams, who went undrafted. So the Jets know how to develop young players. So maybe Jalen Key is the next guy for the Jets to develop. Not really expecting him to start or anything. But again, the New York Jets know how to develop their guys. And then last but not least, just going to show this quick graphic as well. The Jets undrafted free agents. We got quite a lot. Got to show you Leonard Taylor III because I'm shocked that Leonard Taylor went undrafted. I am shocked that he went undrafted. This guy was a first-round pick heading into college last year. And then he fell all the way into projected 4th or 5th round. And then he went undrafted. The biggest reason is his work ethic. He's lazy. So I like the Jets taking a flyer on him. They also got Braden McGregor from Michigan, who I like in the undrafted free agency pool. Eric Watts from UConn. 3 defensive linemen. Tyler Harrell, who is a speed demon. So these are the undrafted free agents for the New York Jets. I love this draft so much, man. I got to give this an A-. To be honest with you guys, I think they did what they needed to do. They built this team for the now and for the future. I'm giving it an A-.
8 wins.
A-. Richie, I'll tell you what. I'm going to hop in here. I would agree with you, man. I would say that the Jets had the best drafts in this class. I certainly would. And, I mean, maybe it was because of the flashy players. Maybe it was because several of the players that I was targeting that I had draft crushes on winded up on the New York Jets. Absolutely love it. I was terrified that y'all were going to end up getting Rome Odunze. I am thankful that the Chicago Bears ended up drafting him and not you guys. But do not sleep on Malachi Corley. With Richie, he is not BSing when it comes down into the Yak King. This kid is going to be absolutely incredible. I'm really curious to see how he meshes well with Aaron Rodgers. His last year in Green Bay, I remember so many sound bites of rumors that like he was having a hard time getting on the same page as a lot of rookies, especially in the wide receiver category. But with a player like Malachi Corley, I'm sure that he's going to be able to develop just fine. Absolute animal. Just one more person to worry about. I love Braylon Allen too. I mean, guy is a Jonathan Taylor clone. And I'm not saying that because they went to the same university, but I'm saying he's quite literally a very similar player to this. So now, as long as everyone can stay healthy, you have a Breece Hall, and then now you also have a Braylon Allen, which is going to be an absolutely deadly 1-2 punch. Love the Jordan Travis pick as well, right? I think that the NFL has slept on the overall strategy of actually sitting a quarterback behind a starter for a couple of years and letting them take those baby steps and be able to be eased into an offense rather than just throwing them in with the Wolves. I think that this is a great pick at 4. Jordan Travis has some accuracy issues with Florida State, but at the end of the day, that's something hopefully that Aaron Rodgers and the QB's coach will be able to fix up. Really, at the end of the day, love Olu as well. I mean, you guys need to invest in the offensive line as much as humanly possible, as long as MetLife is your home field. But love the Jets draft. And I mean, really, after Jordan Travis, y'all were basically just drafting for fun. And so at that point, I mean, really just going BPA right after that, not necessarily wanting to fill any specific needs. Y'all were just throwing some darts at BPA right after that Jordan Travis pick. And it was nice. It was good. I give it an A-.
A-. Wow.
All right, TD.
Colby, I'll let you go.
Oh, sorry, TD. I guess you're guess you're going last. Probably because you're probably gonna get the lowest grade. So that's probably
I went last for TD, so I want him to go last for me.
But so I think this was a solid draft. I'm gonna give it a B. I think it's personally crazy that the Jets are being kind of graded like the best in the AFC East. I mean, if there's things I feel confident about, it's that the Bills, the Jets, very, very solid drafts for sure. I could see where you throw a B. I could see where you might even throw a B+. But I feel confident with the Patriots coming out with the best overall class. And I'm really not saying that from a biased standpoint. At least I'm not trying to say from a biased standpoint. That is truly how I feel. And I've seen a lot of grades overall ranking it the same way. And if there's another thing that I feel confident about, it's that the Miami Dolphins respectfully had the worst in the class. But look, the way that I said respectfully, the way that I see this is, look, you go Olu Fashanu, you traded down what I want to say was like one spot. You look good. You traded down, you got some extra draft capital. I like Olu Fashanu. It's not Fashanu. I guess it's actually Fashanu, if I remember that correctly. Richie, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
It is Fashanu, right? Okay, perfect. So I actually liked him. I do like him, and I do understand the idea of going tackle. This is actually what I originally did when me and Ryan did Roundtable. I had them going with tackle first. But the way that I see this is you got Tyron Smith to be your starting left tackle. And by the way, I was talking about him going to the Patriots like all offseason. So trust me, I know that he has issues playing and not playing. And is he going to stay healthy? Is he not going to stay healthy? But if he does, Olu Fashanu ultimately is not going to play. And I understand trying to keep Aaron Rodgers healthy and whatnot, but I think the biggest hole on the Jets in terms of what could be upgraded was the tight end position. I understand that you have Conklin, and Conklin's like a good number 2. He's not a number 1. He's seriously nothing to write home about. That's just the truth. Again, I know that he is underrated, and Richie, I agree with you on that aspect of Conklin, but you don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. Conklin is not a number 1 tight end in the National Football League, and Brock Bowers was still there. And the way that I see it, Brock Bowers is a guy that was going to help you in terms of blocking, whether that's pass blocking, run blocking, but also being a massive receiving threat for Aaron Rodgers and a massive upgrade at the tight end position. And I do still think that this was a very good wide receiver class to where you probably still could have gotten Malachi Corley. There's no reason you couldn't have still gotten Malachi Corley if you decided to still go with Brock Bowers in the first round. So you're still getting the wide receiver threat, but you're also massively upgrading at tight end. And the way that I see it is kind of like what I talked about with the Miami Dolphins. I understand why you're doing so for the future and kind of an insurance policy in case your starting guy does get injured. But you could have had a much better day one starter who would have had a much bigger day one impact here with Aaron Rodgers in Brock Bowers. And what you have to understand too is that the Jets are in a win now mode. The Jets are not having this young franchise quarterback where they're trying to build around for the future. Your Super Bowl window is maybe 2 years before Aaron Rodgers retires, and then you're back into the quarterback carousel, which we've seen the Jets have a lot of issues with. Build right now. Go all in. Act as if Aaron Rodgers, this is going to be his last season, and I just don't think that that's ultimately what the Jets did. I don't hate the pick of Olufashinu. I just would have done something a little bit different. Again, I'm not hating on the draft. Ultimately, I gave it a B. I think that you could have gotten a guy in the third round or trading back into the third round on top of getting Malachi Corley to be this guy who has those developmental traits as a tackle for you and still hitting on that position. As for Braylon Allen, you know, you got really good value here. You needed another like 1-2 punch behind Breece Hall. I don't hate it. Again, this might have been your best value pick overall. What I don't like is doubling up at running back. That I don't think there is a need for. Richie, you did say something earlier on in which you said you think a team should draft a running back every single year. I agree with that, but I also don't agree with that because you can get game-changing, you know, number 1, number 2 complementary running backs as UDFAs. If there's any position that can be a starter for you year 1 and be a difference maker as a UDFA, it's the running back position. You really don't have to use a draft pick, let alone a high draft pick on it. And you guys use a 5th round pick and a 4th round pick when you already have a number 1 running back in Breece Hall. Like I said, I like the Braylon Allen pick, but what I don't like is doubling down. And if there's one thing I will say too is that if there's any team in the AFC East that was able to just draft whatever they wanted, it was the New York Jets, because I feel like out of every team, the Jets had the least amount of needs heading into the draft, right? Like Patriots needed quarterback. They needed wide receiver. They needed offensive tackle. There's really not much positions where you could say heading into 2024, the Jets going into the draft needed to draft this position. So I do think you did have that going for you. Jordan Travis, look, I'm not personally all that big on Jordan Travis, but I'm also under the assumption that for quarterbacks, you either take your franchise guy who you hope is going to be a franchise guy in the first round, or you take a guy in like the 6th, the 7th round, a UDFA that you're hoping maybe you can develop. You took him here in the 5th. Little bit of a push for me. I think there was better options you could have gone, but at the end of the day, if that's the guy that you think you could develop behind Aaron Rodgers, who again I think is only going to play for like 2 more years max, then okay. I think it is funny though that Bleacher Report's comp for him is Trace McSorley throwing dimes. That's a little funny to me. As a Patriots fan, I hope that's the exact quarterback you get. But Richie, as your friend, I obviously hope that you get much, much better than Trace McSorley. You go safety at the end. You obviously needed some depth there. Obviously, a guy who can maybe even plug in for you to be a starter. So I like the idea of going safety because it was a low-key bigger need. As for your cornerback, whose last name I'm not going to say just because I don't want to potentially get canceled. I know this was like, I think, Richie, this was one of your guys in the process, if I remember correctly. It might have been somebody different, but I feel like we talked about him before. Maybe this was somewhere.
We never did. I'll be honest.
Maybe okay. So I might be thinking of a collab I did and somebody else talked about it. Or maybe it was on Bleacher Report or something. The draft process was crazy, but better players that I think were ultimately there in the 5th round at cornerback. But again, you're hoping for a developmental guy. He's not going to be your number 1 guy. And he's probably like your number 3 cornerback. So at the end of the day, who cares? Yeah. So at the end of the day, who really cares? I think that you got some difference makers. It was definitely a good draft. Would I say that you aced the draft? No. Was there things that I definitely would have done different? Yes. Are there things that I think would have helped you in your short Super Bowl window? Yes. So I'm going to give it a B.
The only thing I'll push back you on is Tyler Conklin is a tight end number 1, and he will prove that this season. The New York Jets will prove that they have a very, I know you knew I was going to say that, but the guy had 61 catches and 621 yards with the worst quarterback room in the entire NFL last year. Okay. He's a reliable tight end. He's solid. Okay, you throw Aaron Rodgers in there, that is going to do the job. And also don't sleep on Jeremy Ruckert. Jeremy Ruckert is our young stud right next to Tyler Conklin, who's ready to get broken out. That's why they were comfortable of not even thinking about Brock Bowers, apparently. The Jets were not even thinking about him as a possibility. It was just us Jets fans hyping that up. And then Zach Kuntz, is still on this team. The Jets
Zach
drafted him
Kuntz.
in the 7th round last year. Zach Kuntz, baby, and Kenny Yeboah. So I'm very content with this tight end room. I think that you have a little bit too much disrespect to Tyler Conklin. I'm not going to let that slide.
Hey, whoa. Richie, I said I like Tyler Conklin. I said
no, you said he's not a number one tight end in this league. He is.
He's not. He is not a true number one tight end.
He is. He is 100% one of the.
You had terrible.
He is one of the starters tight ends in this league. He is one of the best 32 tight ends in this league.
Congratulations! You had terrible quarterback play, and your quarterback said, "Let me."
Bro, this guy had.
Let me throw it to the guy who had the best damn catch radius on the team and could catch in traffic, could catch between 2 and 3 defenders because he didn't have a quarterback that could accurately.
Bro, he literally never drops the ball. He is reliable. He trucks people. You throw it up for 50-50 balls down the seam. He has everything you want in a tight end. He does not need to be elite top 10 to be good.
But Conklin, Kuntz, none of the tight ends on your roster should be even talked about in the same conversation as Brock Bowers. That is the weakest
of course.
on your team. Tight end is.
I'm not saying they're better than Brock Bowers. I never said that.
Close. You could have had a massive upgrade in terms of blocking
in a position of not
a receiving threat. I'm just saying he would have been a day one starter, made it a bigger impact than Olu Fashanu is going to make in year one. What
if Tyron Smith goes down? Then what?
Don't you have depth? You have depth, and that's again. You're playing the what if card. But you're playing the what if card.
Well, you're the one that keeps saying the Jets are all ready to be injured. You're the one that always clowns the Jets for injury concerns. So what's wrong with them having a win now move of protecting themselves for the win now of Smith potentially going down and having Olu ready to go?
When do I always clown the Jets for these injuries?
What do you mean? This whole offseason, you're like, the Jets are injury prone. You have all these old players. You signed this washed up player. So what's wrong with them protecting for the immediate short term of bringing in Olu for a Super Bowl window? If Tyron Smith goes down, we're ready to go.
I don't know if you're like thinking about TD or somebody else. I did say that.
I take notes.
An old roster. I did say you guys are an old roster.
Yeah, and we have an old left tackle who's injury prone. So my point is, Olu is not just a long-term pick. It's a pick for the now.
Have injury concerns. For sure he does have injury concerns. But the reality is that if Tyron Smith is able to stay healthy, which every other season it looks like he's able to stay healthy and they're not able to stay healthy. Yeah, who knows ultimately what you're going to get. But if he is able to stay healthy, then Olu Fashanu is not going to play. Again, get a guy in the 3rd round.
I completely disagree. I'd rather go Olu 110%. We have one of the best left tackles of this generation. In Tyron Smith, and he is going to be able to sit and learn. We need a franchise left tackle. We don't have one. I'd rather go for a premier position than a tight end that is just a weapon that is not a premier position in this league. 110%.
Richie, like you just said, you have an all-star already at left tackle if he's able to stay healthy. Yes, it's great that Fashanu is going to be able to learn, but again, that's why I'm saying you could have gotten a guy in the 3rd round that was able to sit back, get better value for the guy. Because if he's going to sit behind Tyron Smith, again, you're able to get
But then we're not getting Malachi.
But now you're able to get a developmental guy. And you're able to get Brock Bowers in the 1st. But that doesn't mean you can't get Malachi Corley at all. You had the draft compensation to be able to make these moves. You had the draft compensation to where, okay, maybe you don't get Jordan Travis, or maybe you don't double up at running back, and then you're able to trade back in. There were ways. You had the capital to be able to trade back in. Again, I'm not hating on the Jets. I literally said you are in your Super Bowl window. I gave you a B. I'm not even hating on the draft.
I get it. I just hate the whole stance on people saying it's a negative that the Jets are drafting in the 1st round for them to sit on the bench. Maybe that you just realize that this Jets football team is that good where we can actually afford to not draft a 1st round pick. And I'm even talking to Jets fans too, because some Jets fans are upset that we're drafting someone in the 1st round to sit on the bench. You ever realize that the Jets roster is that good where the days are behind us when we draft our 1st round pick and that 1st round pick is the star of the team. That's the only player we care about. Those days are behind us. And that should be refreshing. That should be refreshing. We got a 1st round pick that can sit and learn behind one of the greatest to ever do it in Tyron Smith. Absolutely love that. All right, T, let's hear what you think.
It's a good pick. I understand the pick. But
I know. I just had to get a little pushback because you said Conklin's not a number 1 tight end in this league, and I think he is.
Could have massively upgraded, and it's not even close. If you want to say,
of course, we could have with Brock, but I'd rather not and go to a position that's way more valuable. Like Aaron Rodgers, when has Aaron Rodgers had a top-tier tight end in his career?
Tight end is valuable if you have a guy that is going to be a game changer. And
who was Aaron Rodgers' tight end when he was back-to-back MVPs? Go look it up. He doesn't need one.
5 tight end. I'm not saying
Aaron Rodgers does not need a tight end to be good. Rodgers does not need a good tight end to be good.
Imagine you have these elite receivers. You have a good running back core, but now you also have this elite top tight end in the league also. That massively opens up your offense because, yeah, it's great if you have a good running back. It's great if you have really good wide receivers. And Conklin, again, he's a good tight end, but he's nowhere close to elite. He is nowhere close to what you're going to get from Brock Bowers in this league. Like it's not even close. Would you rather have Jonnu Smith or would you rather have Travis Kelce? Well, it's really not that hard.
Would you rather have a future left tackle or a weapon at tight end? I'd rather have a future left tackle any day of the week.
I'd rather go.
You can go.
All right, TD, you're up.
Let's hear it.
Hey, I ain't trying to get in the middle of y'all fight, but listen, I actually agree with Richie on this one, and here's why. See, here's the deal. It's gonna sound like I'm contradicting myself, but hear me out here. The Jets did what I complained about us doing, right? But the circumstance is different for the Jets. First of all, their pick was number 11, 12, whatever, because the trade, right? So when you look at the Jets' needs on the team, like wide open needs, I'm not taking no secondary safety or nothing at number 12. I'm not going to get no linebacker or nothing like that at 12. I mean, and hopefully we all can agree with that, right? You know, so at the end of the day, here we are with Brock Bowers on the board. And I was saying they getting Bowers. They getting Bowers. And they didn't get Bowers. And at first, I didn't like the move because the priority is getting that one more weapon for Aaron Rodgers. But as soon as they got their guy with their second pick in the draft, what happened?
I think you lagged. You're off the screen right now. At least for me, Richie. Is it the same for you?
Yeah.
Is TD? Okay. Okay. Well, so one thing I will say to TD. And my one thing I will say too on your point is just the fact that with somebody like Brock Bowers, you have good tight ends every single, or not tight ends, you have good tackles every single year. You have developmental tackles every single year, mid, late in the draft. You never come by an elite, game-changing, offensive schemed tackle like Brock Bowers, like a Kyle Pitts. They're very few and far between.
But they're not valuable like left tackles. End of discussion. That's it.
I don't agree with that.
What? What's more important? Your pass protector blindside for the future or a tight end for the future? That's not up for debate.
He's not a day one. He's not a day one starter for you. You could have gotten your game changing left tackle in the first round next year if that's the case.
There's no guarantees of that.
So y'all regurgitating the same thing over and over. And again, listen, I thought the Jets should have went Brock Bowers in the first round at first, because I thought they were going to miss out on an opportunity to get the other playmaker for Aaron Rodgers. But as soon as they got Malachi Corley, I realized it was the best move they could have possibly have made going Olu Fashanu in the first round. And I do disagree with that as well. There ain't nothing more valuable than a left tackle other than quarterback. That's
not up for debate, honestly.
There ain't nothing more valuable in the end. Like if you here's the point.
I will debate this right now.
Let me finish.
You get cooked.
So look,
look,
there ain't nothing more valuable than outside of a quarterback than a left tackle in the NFL over a weapon, because you can get a weapon in too many different forms.
Yeah.
You can have the best running back in the league that's better than an elite tight end. You can have a receiver that's better than you can get weapons in different forms. You can sacrifice the tight end position and go get another wide receiver. So the left tackle, it's no question about it. So and my thing is this: if you miss on a left tackle, which is all, I don't even believe. I don't even believe in left tackles outside of the first round because of the chance you take. You can't find them.
It's easy. It's easy to miss on a left tackle. I would say finding a good left tackle is probably one of the hardest things you can do.
Hard. Man,
I agree. I agree. Finding a pure left tackle is hard, but what I'm saying is that there's next year's tackle class. I don't know if you guys have looked into it. I've looked into it. There are supposed to be very, very good left tackles, especially in the first round. The tackle class next year is projected to be even better, especially in the first round than it was this year. And what I'm saying is, yes, I understand the value at left tackle because I believe that the biggest needs offensively are supposed to go quarterback, and then once you hit on your quarterback, it goes into protecting their blind side. And I do believe in that. This is the second best scenario for the Jets, just so that's clear. Again, I originally believed in going offensive tackle for the Jets early on in the process, and then I thought about it and was convinced on Brock Bowers. Again, this isn't saying that tight end is a much bigger and better position and that you should draft tight end always over protecting your quarterback's blind side. But I'm not just talking about the tight end position. This isn't talking about just getting any other tight end. We're talking about getting Brock Bowers, who is a generational tight end, and that's what I'm talking about, and that is the difference. And I'm saying that he would make a bigger day one impact than Fashanu, and I understand protecting your quarterback. But again, if you're talking about the future at tackle, you have a premier left tackle if he can stay healthy right now. And if you're talking about getting that quarterback blindside protector, again, the class next year is supposed to be top tier, better than
I want my rookie to sit and learn behind one of the greatest ever do in Tyron Smith. I don't want to start a rookie and let him throw him out there. Did not work. I want someone to be on the field. Jordan Travis sitting and learning behind Aaron Rodgers. Olu learning behind Tyron Smith. Malachi picking Mike Williams and Garrett Wilson's brain. Braylon Allen learning from Breece Hall. The list goes on and on and on. Okay, Olu makes the most sense. Case closed. Continue, TD.
I don't think the case is closed.
Hopefully I can continue. I understand the argument here. But let's not act like Fashanu may not be able to actually play all over the offensive line. The talent that he is, he may not just be relegated to the left tackle position, even though that's all the snaps that he gave in college. But I think that he could actually be a versatile guy. I love the pick only because the Jets have the luxury right now of making that pick. I'm in agreement. Why not have your guy already in the building? And guess what? Olu Fashanu might come to camp and look like a bum. And then they can go get another guy next year. But at least you got the guy in the building to find out what you got, because Malachi Corley makes up for exactly what you needed at the wide receiver position.
It's also what Bowers would have brought. Just saying. Yeah.
And no. This guy, in my opinion, Malachi Corley is going to bring more than Bowers. And when you look at Aaron Rodgers and his deliverables, I feel like the yak that you can get out of Malachi Corley, I'm sorry. I think that he's going to eat all day in the NFL. Yeah, I agree. But which effect tends to be more impactful?
Yeah, you're getting a yards after the catch guy. Like it just comes down, I guess, to preference at the end of the day too. And Malachi Corley might be thrusted into a bigger role. I like Malachi Corley. Yeah. There was a lot of ties back to him in New England. I have friends who actually did interviews with Malachi Corley. Like, trust me, I know, I get it. I know the hype around the guy. Again, I'm just saying for the tight end position, I don't see the comparison. Like, you're trying to say what, that he's going to have a bigger receiving upside? That's
no,
great.
I'm saying that he's a better compliment for Aaron Rodgers and what Aaron Rodgers brings to the table. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't personally.
Aaron Rodgers historically hasn't been the best quarterback when it comes to tight ends as far as the way he uses them. But here's my thing. So that's the whole tackle wide receiver early rounds. I think that they were able to get luxury picks because they can afford to right now. Braylon Allen, the running back, having a 1-2 punch. I'm glad they did that, because at the end of the day, Breece Hall could be the best dog in the world, but stop putting that wear on this man like that. You know, you want to have a 1-2 punch and somebody who could come in. And let me tell you what I love what the Jets did. What has been the Jets' issues the last 5 years?
Offense.
Oh, no. I'm looking at it from a different lens. Oh, we got a team. Dang, our star running back got hurt. Oh, we got a team. Dang, another offensive lineman got hurt. Oh, we got a team. Dang, our quarterback. Look at what they did. So if an O-lineman or a tackle gets hurt, we can still have Super Bowl aspirations. For sure, exactly. Let's go. If a wide receiver goes down, we got our number 3 that can step into the number 2 now. We're still okay. If Breece Hall, can we remember when Breece went out? Okay. If Breece Hall goes down, we got Braylon Allen. It's going to be okay. If Aaron Rodgers go down, Jordan Travis you ain't gonna be okay. But I like that better than
We got
Zach
Tyrod
Wilson.
Taylor. We got Tyrod Taylor for that.
Well, that too, but I'm just saying for the future, I like that better than a Zach Wilson. So that's what they did. Now, I don't know why they got Isaiah Davis. You can like the talent all you want, but I agree with Kobe in that regard. Go ahead. I'm even like, go get another guard, even though just go get a depth project. Go get a linebacker project. Go get a safety project. But if you like them, then you like, man, Kobe, stop talking about 5th round offensive tackles, 6th round offensive tackles, bro. Like,
we're talking about develop, right?
Yeah,
we're talking about developmental pieces.
You're correct, but I don't
blue chip to develop, not a 5th round.
You're correct, but I don't trust defensive coaches and put that.
I'm not saying to be your starter, Richie. I'm just saying in general to have a developmental tackle. I'm not saying.
But you're saying like it'll be easy for the Jets if they took Brock Bowers. They could developmental tackle later on. It's guaranteed.
But I'm not saying 5th round. It's not guaranteed Fashano's gonna hit.
Y'all, I'm almost done. I'm almost done with mine.
Way better chance though. Go on, TD.
So I don't like the Isaiah Davis move because I feel like that's where you could have gotten a pick or two of some value in some other positions. Quintez Stiggers, same thing. But at the end of the day, I don't know if you prepare. Well, back to Isaiah Davis, by the way. Maybe they got him because Breece Hall ain't as good as y'all think, but that's neither here nor there. But Quintez, just a depth piece, developmental piece, and I like that the Jets did that only for this reason. They do develop guys in that secondary. So you got to roll the dice on that happening. Same thing with Jalen Key, developmental piece in the secondary, roll the dice on it because that's your track record. Your track record shows that you can develop some guys in the secondary. So overall, I'm going to say this before I get the grade. I hate the Jets. No. I hate them because I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. They're the most dangerous team, in my opinion, right now in the AFC East.
That's fair.
At the end of the day, now they got to put it on the field, and this is operating off of the assumption that Aaron Rodgers is going to get in his bag again. If that happens, man, you could be whatever fan you want to be of whatever team. But if you think that the Jets don't literally have arguably the best roster, arguably the best.
I would have said that last year too, TD.
Nah, I ain't going that far.
I would have said last year. You have Aaron Rodgers. You're easily. They were in a Super Bowl window. There was a time where they were Super Bowl favorites last year. They were higher than the Dolphins. They were higher than the Bills. Obviously they were above the Patriots. Everybody was above the Patriots.
I get it.
Yeah, they're in that discussion now, but I think they were in that discussion last year too.
They were in a discussion, but I think starting the season, they'll have the best roster in our division. But when, Jalen Phillips and Chubb definitely get back, we'll still probably have the best roster, hopefully. But I'm going to go see, I gave y'all a B+, Richie, but my true sentiments is like A-.
So which one is it? Because for the graphic, I got to get the final grade. I
ain't on front. I'm going to give them the A- because I just feel like they prepare for now and the future. See, that's the big piece. They prepare for now and the future. The Patriots still had the best draft at an A for me, but I'll give the Jets an A-. But yeah, so.
Well, thank you very much, CD. I appreciate that.
Bill Bone.
All right. Those are your draft grades. Let's see what the chat had to say. The chat is pretty... 43% A. Wow. 39% B, 8% C. What's the viewage? Whole of the chat.
What's the viewage at, Richie?
The viewage is over just under 500 people watching right now. And
you know what? That's why we debated. That's why we debated, Richie. We wanted the viewership to go up. Me and Richie were talking behind the scenes. We were talking behind the scenes. We got to get viewership. Bro.
What do you think Roundtable Sports is all about, baby?
Nah, Kobe trying to get Drake May offensive tackle in the 7th round.
Hey.
No. I just know that we can get him in the 2nd or 3rd and still develop him.
Well, thank you guys so much. We're going to open this up for our Patreon segment. But before we do that, folks, don't forget to smash that like button. Let's get this to way over 300. Oh, we got 302 likes. Let's get to 400 likes, folks. Hit that thumbs up button right now. Big time shout out to you folks. And also don't forget to show us some love on our proud sponsor, Mando. You guys will get $5 off your starter pack if you click the link at the top of the chat. We would greatly appreciate that, guys. If you can simply purchase a Mando pack today. Mando is a proud sponsor of the channel, and we really, really do appreciate that. If you guys can support what we're doing here, and all of our sponsors here on the channel would mean a lot if you guys can help us out. Getting into some super chats, the big fella with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much to big fella. Sorry we couldn't get to this earlier, but we had to get through the draft grades. Best thing about the Giants is the fact they beat the Pats twice. Enjoy the basement. Gerard Mayo, LOL. Reason why you think your team has had a good draft is because of how poop the roster is. JETS. Jets.
Yeah, because you can't beat the Patriots, right? So at least somebody in
Hey,
New
we
York
just did at the end of the season.
Congrats, you got one against Bill Belichick and a 4-win Patriots team.
Okay, but you can't say we can't win. If you beat us again, then you can say those words.
You beat us once in how long, Richie?
Okay, as long as you say that we beat you once in how long? I'm just happy to get the monkey off my back. That's all I'm saying. I'm just happy.
The monkey's still there. The monkey's just a little bit lower.
No, it's all. Belichick is out of here, and we gave him an L on his way out of Foxborough.
You know who else did? Pretty much every other single team we played that season.
I'll take it, baby. We got the monkey off our back. Nick Robinson with the $5. Let's have it go. Another year of divisional greatness from the boys in Buffalo, and that ring is coming. Hashtag Bills Mafia. P.S. Finns are trash.
Hater.
Nick, thank you for the $5 super chat. T. Rivera says, I like all the in-depth analysis, but you guys are missing the undrafted free agents. I would love to hear from you guys individually, your take on them. I gave my take on the Jets undrafted free agents. We'll go into deeper of that next week. Next week for sure. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Right, so that's my homework. That's my homework. Get that to you.
I mean, hey, you gotta know your undrafted free agent, just your own team. You don't gotta know ours.
That's where the magic happens, dude. F the draft, UDFAs. That's where the magic comes in.
I agree, and that's why your boy went out of his way to make this.
You guys signed a lot of UDFAs, like a lot. I didn't know you had that many roster spots open.
Yeah, they're not all gonna make even the roster for OTAs or training camp. But hey, I'll just name off some players. Bryce Huff, undrafted. Okay, so the Jets know what they're doing. Tony Adams, our starting safety, undrafted. Okay, so the Jets know how to develop their undrafted free agents. So we'll talk about that more next week, Rivera. Will Coleman's personality is a breath of fresh air compared to Diggs' cancer of a personality.
Oh,
would you agree with that, Dan?
I'll be honest with you, man. I am past the whole Diggs thing. I like Coleman's personality, but at the end of the day, there's been a lot of players out there that have had great personalities and we're not very good. I think Coleman's going to be a dog, but yeah, I've moved past the whole Diggs situation, man. I'm just excited to see what Coleman can do. I'm very excited about the player. I think he's going to be an absolute stud, and I do think that it's going to play at least some sort of benefit that Josh Allen's not going to be having it in the back of his head, that if he doesn't target Keon Coleman, that he's going to be getting an earful after the game. So interesting.
Jimmy says, Richie, tell these fools we're coming. Go Jets, baby. Hey, man, I'll let the Jets do all the talking. I talked my shit last year. Did not work. So we'll see. Austin with the $5. That Dolphins O-line is so bad. No Hunt, no Connor Williams, and they did nothing to fix it. You can't throw Tua behind that. Recipe for disaster.
Super Bowl.
Well, honestly,
that's how you respond to that, TD?
I do agree. Yeah, I do agree with that, is that you didn't meet where your O-line should be, especially for all the issues Tua's had. But also at the end of the day, if you have really good receivers, you can compensate for a bad offensive line and getting the ball out of your quarterback's hand really quick. I mean, the Bengals had the worst offensive line in 2021, and they went to the Super Bowl and almost won. So,
yeah, the only difference is, unfortunately, Tua ain't no Joe Burrow.
Oh, you saying he's worse than Joe Burrow?
Tua?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to say, because I know it's gonna spark discussion and hate in the chat.
I mean, I don't know. Dan's the biggest Joe Burrow hater there is. Dan, who's better, Joe Burrow or Tua?
I mean, Joe Burrow.
Okay, good.
So I'm not delusional. Listen. I think Joe Burrow is a top 5 quarterback.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. I've never said he wasn't a top 5 quarterback. It just infuriates me when oh my God, it's Mahomes and Burrow. That's what frustrates me.
Burrow's just the only one who can beat Mahomes provenly, other than Tom Brady.
Mike D's nuts. $2. Let's go, Richie.
I'm gonna get into that.
Let's go.
QBs don't beat each other. And QBs don't.
Well, I do agree with that. I do agree with that. The only one that's been able to go pound for pound.
Great job, guys, with the draft grades, except for my Dolphins. Love the new logo, Richie. Fins up. JD the Great, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Really excited for the new logo launch. A lot of exciting things happening. Thank you, man. Forrest MGM with the $2. What was Bill's grade for draft? You'll see the all of our grades posted on our socials tomorrow. So make sure you guys shoot us a follow at Roundtable SN on X and at roundtable.sports on Instagram. You'll see all the grades if you missed it.
Richie, on Jets
Dimitri.
Media,
What's
Media, do you only do the Jets Media logo, or do you also do like the cartoon logo of your face?
I only do Jets Media. I have never used that logo, but I should on those graphics, huh?
Interesting. Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out how I can also implement on that on top of my logo, or if I just make that my new logo.
Yeah, I mean that cartoon face is yours to have. So if you don't have
hard,
a file it already, let me know. It's nice, man. Dimitri, crazy how the Jets are always clowned for being injury prone, but when they act according, now it's a negative. Like, huh? Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Jets fans can never be happy, Dimitri. That's the reality of it. And the reality of the Jets, people turning the Jets into a negative that we're sitting our first round pick. Hey man, I'm just happy that our first round picks aren't the stars of the team anymore. That's how.
Look, if there's anyone that could probably sit their first round pick, it would probably be the Jets, because like I said, you guys had the least like needs heading into the draft. Like you had to fill this.
I agree. King Cat, member for 11 months. The GOAT, Mr. King Cat. Brock isn't proven yet. Mayer was generational last year. T. Smith isn't the only person that Olu could cover for the O-line in case of an injury. Thank you, King Cat.
Respectfully, though, with that mindset, Olu Fashanu also isn't proven, and there are some concerns. Like, I was a big Olu Fashanu fan. By the way, I still am. And despite being a Jets fan, I am still going to watch his career closely and see how he develops, because I think he was a really interesting prospect that fell, I feel like, a lot farther down in, as the process went on than I expected him to.
Yeah,
but there are some questions on, like, was how fast the ball came out ultimately by the quarterback. Did that kind of help? Because a lot of times he was kind of like losing the edge and whatnot. And sometimes the stats were a little overblown. So there were some concerns with him consistently holding the edge for long enough. But again, back to this point, Brock isn't proven. Nobody's proven. You can say that about any player. Caleb Williams isn't proven. Nobody's proven yet. So it's a draft. We're not going to know till the time comes. And I'm not saying Olu's going to be a bad player, by the way. I'm not saying that because I like him and I hope he's not. But
yeah, you never know. Jack Gallagher with the $5. When Connor McDermott is your starting left tackle, it's comforting to undervalue the importance of left tackle.
Yeah, well, Jack, you apparently don't know balls crap because Connor McDermott's not on the team. So,
Jack,
thanks for the $5 for showing you don't know what's going on around the other teams in the East.
Brian with the $5. Pitts and OJ Howard were generational. Rodgers didn't miss last season because we didn't have a tight end. Yeah, Kyle Pitts was generational. He went really early. But hey, he's a different prospect than Brock Bowers, of course. You can't say just because Kyle Pitts didn't work out that Brock Bowers won't work out. But I do find interesting that Vegas is the team that actually drafted him after getting Mayer last year.
Dude, that made no sense. That made no sense. I mean, you can get both guys on the field at the same time because they have different playing styles. And like Brock Bowers can be in the slot. He can be inline tight end. He can be out wide, but like he can even be H-back. But yeah, they probably had bigger needs to go.
Will with $2. Buffalo also signed Frank Gore Jr. undrafted.
Yeah, interesting. I like that move by them.
Frank Gore Jr. is a Bill, Dan.
Frank Gore Jr. is a Bill, man.
That's a low-key good pickup for y'all.
Yeah.
Colby, Trevor Siemian beat your bum team, LOL.
Yeah, congrats. You beat Mac Jones and you beat a defense that had no bodies by the end of the season. Congratulations. Do you want a brownie?
Richie says, pound for pound. Dan, educate Colby on arguably the best playoff game in Allen versus Mahomes in 13-second game. Allen doesn't play defense.
You can't beat Patrick Mahomes, but you've proven that time after time. Like, Patrick Mahomes owns the... And by the way, I want to see the Bills beat Patrick Mahomes. I am done with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. But respectfully, when he owns you every single time that you guys play in the playoffs, like, I'm not even being rude. Like, it's just a fact. It really is just a fact. A fact that I hope you change. I'm on the Bills side here, but it's a fact right now.
Well,
Dan, do you have anything to say to that?
Dan didn't need to educate Colby. He educated himself.
And educate Colby on arguably the best playoff game in Allen versus home. Yeah. So between Burrow and Josh Allen against the Chiefs, Josh Allen's stats are better.
But
against the Chiefs defense.
Yeah, so stats are better, but that's what the one time you guys were able to beat the Chiefs.
No. Like we've beat them 3 times consecutively in
the playoffs.
The regular season. In 13 seconds, Josh Allen had, I think it was like the second highest QBR ever, and the first highest QBR was also done in that game with Patrick Mahomes. Last year, Josh Allen's numbers were great in the playoffs. It was just
Allen's more dynamic. But I'm just saying in terms of like pound for pound, he's able to go drive for drive. Like at the end of the day, like Patrick Mahomes does own the Bills. Like that's he's kind of daddy in the playoffs.
Yeah, he does. But like I think the argument is that so the Chiefs defense gets the better of Joe Burrow.
I don't know. They're
all
able
right,
to
Superfish. The real grades will be in 3 or 4 years. That is true.
True.
You look back at these grades; they're always right or wrong, all over the place. And Rev William Perry, why are we debating the draft? We should be debating why Dan's head don't match his shoulders.
Dude, Dan, come on. You can't take that. You can't take that, man.
Hey,
honestly,
dude, that's a compliment, dude.
Dan,
are you flexing those traps, bro?
Yo, dude, thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
Like, Dan, you don't go to like the gym like that consistently, right? Like you go, but you don't go like on a like regular like basis, like 5 times a week, right?
And so I go 7 days a week, 3 hours a day.
Shut the fuck up, do you actually?
Yeah,
bro. I'm surprised for a social media guy. For a social media guy, I feel like I never see you post about it.
Oh well, yeah. I like really don't talk about it much. It's just like say that I don't, then it's great for the mental health, man. It's great for the focus.
Dan low key built, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. As someone who goes to the gym, Dan's built. Dan got.
So I guess we're doing some head exercises. Apparently, I don't even know.
Yeah, dude, you got to go to do like Planet Fitness where they have the strap around your head and you see people like bobbing that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dan, you want to pull up the timer? It's time for the Patreon members.
You're right.
Time for the Patreon members.
2 minutes timer.
Let's go, guys. Hit that like button if you are enjoying the show. We have 300 plus likes, 338 likes with 434 people watching. Let's get this to over 400 likes, folks. We appreciate you guys. We have a long marathon show right now. Time for the Patreon members. Let's get it started. Mr. LaSalle in the house.
First again. Okay.
You're always first. It's always first come, first serve, LaSalle. You're always first.
So first thing I want to say, I really want you guys. I love the debate show you guys did last year, but I feel like it'd be more fun if you get like some of the Patreon members to do it. Like the Patreon members, like let's say like King Lowski versus I don't know, like one of the Bills, or you do that instead of like all of you guys, because it would be more dynamic. You get like other people's like responses, other people's other people's like opinions, you know what I mean? I feel like that would be a phenomenal thing. I feel like that would be a phenomenal thing for you guys to do.
Hey,
like I know that I'm gonna take like like you guys putting up like a form or something like saying, hey, do you want to do this or not? But I feel like it'd be a good thing. Like it gives more like I don't remember the word, but like now we'll get people like, oh, I want to join that show. Oh, how do you do that? Oh, go to Patreon. Okay. You know what I mean? Get more Patreon members and stuff like that. I feel like that would be a phenomenal way. And then I gotta talk to Kobe, man.
What's up? Talk to me, LaSalle. Wait, is LaSalle a Bills fan?
I don't.
Jets
I'm a
fan.
Jets fan, bro.
Jets fan. Got you. All right, let's hear it.
I just don't. I disagree with the Buck Bowers point. Honestly, I see a lot of tight ends that are great, like a George Kittle and the Kelsey. They get them under get them in like the fourth, fifth. Like it's like getting a tight end in the first round doesn't sometimes work. So I was morally just like, hey, go with like an offensive tackle, go with a wide receiver that like Woma Dunze. I would have asked for Woma Dunze, but
Yeah, look, I think it goes both ways. I think you can make an argument for both, and I 100% agree. But I mean, when's the last time we really saw like a tight end? Well, I can't say the last time we saw a tight end drafting in the later rounds, because you can definitely let that happen. Like, that happens for sure. But that same thing happens with offensive tackle, right? Like, you can get quality, high-end starting offensive tackles also not in the first. So like I said, it's all about preference. And I'm not hating on the Jets for what they did, because that was my second favorite thing for them to do, and they still did it. So I don't think you go wrong with either or. It's just, what do I think would have been better for the team in a Super Bowl window? That's what I think would have been better for them, personally.
And Lascelles saying we should get the Patreon members to pull up and have a debate. That would be crazy. Hey,
that'd be crazy. Like its own show.
Like that idea, Lascelles. Thank you Lascelles, for the
yeah. No. Most definitely. Chat, definitely figure this out, because like we love the Patreon segment a lot. But like we've been sort of battling around with the idea of actually making the Patreon segment more of like a call-in show and having it as its own dedicated show. So that way we can welcome more people in, have more time. So I don't know. Sound off in the chat and let us know what you think about that. Might be interesting. We're trying to grow over here, baby.
Andy,
what up, Andy?
What's up? How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How's the good life?
Pretty good. Just enjoyed the draft. Liked what I think. Truthfully, I think the whole division did pretty well. Like, out of my draft grades, I had Dolphins with a B-, because I mean, they need interior offense and defensive line, and they didn't touch it. I got the Bills and the Jets kind of tied at a B+. And I liked what the Patriots did. I felt like they knocked it out of the park with an A. So
let's go, Andy! Woo!
See, can't call me a homer because I didn't put the Bills at 1. So
yeah,
you played it strategic.
He did play strategic on that. Are you a Keon Coleman believer yet?
See, I didn't have all the information when I went, and I've gone back and done my research, and I'm higher on him now than I was.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
because people keep calling him slow, but if you look at the GPS tracker, like they do during the game, he actually was hitting 21 miles an hour, which was like top 5 in wide receivers coming out this year.
Yeah,
there was only a few people faster than him, so I think he plays faster than what his 40 time was.
Yeah.
And he had the fastest gauntlet out of the entire wide receivers that were coming out. So
yeah,
so definitely like that pick. Truthfully, I think all our top 5 draft picks can all play this year, start. So really enjoyed that, and looking forward to the upcoming year. Although I will be changing all my pictures for when Keon Coleman dunks on Sauce.
It's gonna be beautiful. I hope that it happens.
Yes,
because
I will be up Richie's ass when that happens.
You guys really hate. You guys.
What's I will tattoo it on my.
Sauce just lives rent free in you guys' brains. It's kind of
what's
wild.
the size difference between Coleman and Sauce?
I mean, there's not many corners built like Sauce physically, but I just love
Do you know how tall Sauce is?
I think he's like 6'3".
Is he really? Damn.
Yeah. I'll confirm.
Coleman's 6'4".
I find it fascinating how like there's literally a graphic of someone made. Yeah, he's 6'3", Colby. Just
and so
check. There's literally a graphic of Coleman mossing Sauce. Like everyone wants to go after Sauce. Why does everybody want to beat Sauce? Because he's the best.
Yeah.
To be the best, you got to beat the best.
So the thing is too is that like there's like this common misconception too, because people like to read headlines and they say, oh dude, his route tree is an issue. And there's really only 2 routes in which that he needs to clean up, and those are his comebacks and his curls. And he tends to overstep a little bit because his game speed is so crazy. So that's exactly why wide receiver coaches are paid all the money that they are in this class by itself. That's something that's easily refinable. So the whole his route tree is all messed up is just, it's a lazy take.
We got a super chat from Allison, $10. Why did Zach go with the enemy where Hackett got fired? I think it's funny his way of getting back at Hackett. If I messed up and talking into the mic. Allison, thank you for the $10 super chat. Zach Wilson is I wouldn't call the Broncos an enemy. They had a little feud with Sean Payton versus Hackett, and the Jets beat them last year, and that narrative is behind us. Okay, we don't even think about the Broncos as a negative, in my opinion, or an enemy. But Allison, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Very generous. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. All right, next caller is Easy.
What up, baby? How y'all doing?
Doing well, man.
Got my setup still ready because I did a show earlier today. I built in Buffalo, but hey, I'm ready. Let's go.
How'd it go?
It went well. We had good viewership, and yeah, we competed with you guys. Yeah, I'm surprised, but check it out. Like, the draft was awesome for the AFC East. I think all the teams got better. The Dolphins O-line really did need the help, and they didn't get it. But you're going to see a lot of guys get cut here soon. A lot of, offensive linemen will be out of jobs, wide receivers, so forth. Guys got drafted. Zay Jones was a cap casualty or a draft casualty of the Jaguars, after they drafted BTJ in the first round. They picked up Gabe Davis and they have Christian Kirk. So, like, Zay Jones, you were on the outside looking in, baby boy, so you had to go. He's out there available, and the Bills, they might be looking for somebody like that with some size. But to answer Richie's question about why we go after Sauce is because he is a top 5 corner in the NFL. And so, yeah, you're correct. You got to go after one of the best guys. And while he's 6'3" and 201, our boy is 6'3", 215. And so I'm looking for the box out from our basketball player. Let's go. Keon Coleman, like most Bills fans and like most fans, when you're looking at the draft and at wide receiver, you're looking at like 19 guys in the first 3 rounds. Potentially, you don't get to watch all of the tape. And then when you finally get your guy, now that guy is your business and you get to go and look at his tape. Not only is Keon Coleman a really good guy at the catch point against elite corners in NCAA, he's an elite run blocker. So I think this Bills offense is going to stay around that 50-50 markish, maybe 60-40 pass to run. And you'll see a lot of blocking from Keon Coleman. He's a beast blocker, nasty. I think the Bills got better. One of the guys I want to highlight from the Bills draft is Dwayne Carter, our 3rd-round pick, defensive tackle from Duke. He reminds me of a couple of Buffalo Bills players that we had in the past, one being Harrison Phillips, who got hurt a bunch of times with Buffalo, but playing better in Minnesota. But he was compared to Kyle Williams. And that leadership, that RAS score, that size, it's almost identical to Kyle Williams. We covered that in my show today that I did. It wasn't my show, but I was a guest on it. But Kyle Williams, Dwayne Carter, watch out. It's a comparison.
I'm excited about it.
Think about that comparison, Dan.
I love Dwayne Carter. I really, really do, man. The second that Daquan Jones ends up leaving the Buffalo Bills, it was solid, man. It was really, really good. I mean, literally, like, cap off to Brandon Beane. First couple of picks really address some of these needs. And if you look at it, man, listen, like, you reflect even 2 drafts ago, our 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and our 6th rounders 2 years ago are all starters for the Buffalo Bills right now. Fun fact. Good starters, too.
Thanks for that, Dan. I needed that today. Fun fact.
Glenn.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Last week I said that the draft simulator I hate. Well, I hate draft grades just as bad.
Do you?
Yeah, because they don't make sense.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, but here you are, Dan. Oh, yeah, we need Ladd or Brian. Oh, no. Coleman's good. What the hell, man? Make up y'all's line. You didn't say nothing about no damn Coleman the whole year. Now, hey, I do believe Ula, or whatever his name, I think he don't start for the Jets. You guys can say what you want. But if those two are playing about the same, you put the rookie in.
I'll take that, Glenn.
I just think that.
Oh, Lou.
And here's something else. Yeah, you guys say, but what happens, and I don't think you don't ever play for Miami again. I don't think Chubb will ever play for Miami again. I think he don't go in IR this year.
Oh.
And then he don't be let go last year. Now makes sense. Now that pick makes sense.
Damn.
See,
yeah.
So
that's
we
a big
don't know.
take. That's a hot take right there.
Yeah, that's a hot take. They don't ever play again.
Well, Chad got hurt the second to the last game at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Against Baltimore, the second to the last game.
Was it ACL, right?
It takes him a year, and he's a defensive end, which uses power for your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, holy hell.
You have to have those leg power.
Yeah, holy hell. He's probably not even coming back till, like, at best, say that he does, like end of the season.
That's right. So Chop, I understand. I wanted an offensive guard too, or thing with it. But yeah, it's thing. But if I had to rank them, I say New England, then Buffalo, and then Jets and Miami, and that's just because that's who I project the starters to be.
Got it.
How many people they don't start in this game?
Damn.
In this
Let's
season.
go. Let's go, Glenn.
Glenn, we appreciate you, man.
Glenn,
That was a great call.
Glenn killed it this week. He was
When
spitting
doesn't he?
today. He was spitting. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Glenn never.
So I didn't
never
even
not
think
spit.
about, and so I didn't even think about that either. The fact that
Glenn,
Bradley
the analyst, man.
injury-
Damn.
So Bradley Chubb's injury was that bad that dude's probably not even gonna like be back until the end of the season at best.
It was a good point.
So the Chop Robinson pick actually does make a lot of sense.
Interesting.
No.
Allison
Okay.
with another $10. Is Aaron married now? He says he has a kid. At least that's what he said on some show. I don't want to be starting rumors. I'm getting my effects. I have no idea, to be honest, if Aaron Rodgers has a kid.
Oh, come on, Rich. You're supposed to stay on top of these things.
It's Richie.
Yeah, I mean,
Come
sorry.
on, Rich.
I am an Aaron Rodgers guy. You're right. I gotta know my guy's got a kid. I don't think he does. I think he does. But I will say, if there was someone to have a kid and not tell the world and keep it a secret, it's Aaron. So,
Yeah, he'd put that kid in like a dark retreat.
hey, man, that kid will be the star of the Jets one day with him. Allison, thank you for another $10 super chat. Very, very generous. We got two phenomenal callers to finish up tonight's epic show.
TD.
How's it going, TD?
Great.
You came just in time.
You missed Glenn. He had a great point.
AFC East Roundtable, gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
We're doing great, King Lowski. How you feeling, man?
Great. Now that we got the pleasantries out the way, let's get down to business. All right, Kobe. Let me tell you something, dog.
Go right
Let me
ahead.
tell you something, my brother.
Go right
Bro,
ahead.
we didn't need no damn Brock Bowers, man. We didn't need that overrated bum, bro.
Yeah,
What we need him for? What we gonna do? Have another project of Kyle Pitts? What we need him for?
Kyle Pitts doesn't have a
We
quarterback.
got a wall that's impenetrable, okay? That's what we got. That's what we building for the future. All right? We don't need no damn Brock Bowers, man. To hell with Brock Bowers. You hear me? You worry about that pretty boy, overrated bitch you got over there. And them wasn't my words. Them was
At
his
least I have a
brother
future.
words.
At least I have a
Them was
future
his
at quarterback.
brother words.
You got 2 years
His
and then you
brother
have
words,
Zach
huh?
Wilson's.
Yeah? You worry about that. You worry about that pretty boy you got over there, bum.
Pretty boy.
Yeah,
Bum.
we're gonna welcome him to the league real quick.
And you know what?
Let's believe that.
While he's developing, I'm just gonna watch my 6-time Super Bowl.
That's all they got, King
champion.
Lowski. They live in the
Yeah,
past. man.
man,
all
I'm
we
right
got.
with that. I love it. Kobe,
That's
you ain't
all
talking
we
about
got.
nothing, son. You won't see another one for the rest of your existence, son. You can best believe that. You can best believe that. Hey, damn Mitchell, wake your ass up, damn Mitchell. How dumb is your franchise? You trade out the first round to your cop, to your damn op. You dummy, you big dummy. Huh? What the hell is Bean thinking? You trade out the damn first round to your op. Explain it, damn Mitchell. Explain it right now.
Oh man, we didn't need Xavier Worthy, man. We got Keon.
Damn Mitchell, who the hell? Damn Mitchell, tell me right now, who the hell did you want to draft? Lad who?
Lad
Lad
McConkey.
who? Okay then, damn Mitchell. Don't you give me this bullshit about this second-rate player and some Keon Coleman. Don't you give me that. Don't you give me that, damn Mitchell. You know what you said. I hear lying like this bum TD. Huh? Oh, Chop Robinson. Son, we gonna make him chop liver. You can best believe that. He gonna be chop liver. Bum. Huh? Fried fish.
He gonna make
Hey,
Aaron
what's
Rodgers look like that.
Y'all about dumb as Buffalo too. Y'all
You
about
missed the
dumb as
quarterback.
Buffalo too.
You miss your quarterback, don't you? Zach Wilson, you miss him, don't you?
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. The child is exiled, baby. You get that damn child out of here. We ain't got to worry about him no more, baby. We got comparable quarterbacks, baby. We got a quarterback for the future. We got a liable backup, and we got a mother-freaking Hall of Famer, boy. And you ain't gonna beat them at all, because we gonna sweep every last one of you bums. You best believe that. Huh?
Let's go!
Say something. You can't, because you know it's the truth. Every last one of y'all gave us an A in the draft, and you know you did. I done seen all of your channels. All of y'all gave us an A, and you can say what you want to on this channel, but you know the JETS is taking this damn division. Sit y'all ass down. JETS.
So I ain't never said that, and I want it to be clipped when I ever gave the Jets an A for this draft class. But also, you can't deny the fact that a Jets fan's favorite time of the year is the offseason, because that's when they have the most.
And you can't deny the fact with the Patriots' favorite thing to do is live in the past, because that's all that.
Yeah, because we have a past. We have a past to live on.
That's the only thing you'll be living on for the rest of your
You
life.
have
as
the
a
next
past fan.
2 years.
Congratulations.
The next 2 years, and then you're back.
Keep living on. We're in the present, baby. We're in the present.
Yeah, because that's the only thing you can live in.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh? Cool.
Yeah, 6 of those. How much do you guys got?
Congratulations on the pass. Now we had, like I said, we had 2 fantastic callers to finish it up, and now here's the last one. The legend, the man,
no,
the myth, the legend.
King
Cat, back-to-back kings.
I meant King Cat, man. I didn't mean to.
Are you on a plane, King Cat?
King Cat on the leader, man.
Bro.
JETS.
Oh,
King Cat.
How do you have a connection right now?
It's great to finally meet
Hey,
you,
man.
bro.
Huh? Yeah.
Bro,
good to see you guys. I'm not going to take too much of your time. Hey, I love you, fellas. Go Jets.
King Cat, thank you so much, brother.
Dude,
we got the cards.
Dude, we love you too, man.
Thank
Salute to you, brother.
Salute to you, King Cat. Appreciate
Thanks
you
a
more
lot,
than you know,
guys.
brother. Safe flight, safe travels.
Man.
Yeah, man. Enjoy the day or night,
Thank you.
whatever it is.
See you, man.
My man, King Cat.
Dude.
I think
our
that's
boys,
a good connection.
Bro,
it's our
he
boys
was-
out there. He's jet set.
Bro, King Cat was waiting so patiently.
He's
backstage.
the most interesting man in the world, I think.
I wonder where he
He's
was
the
going.
most mysterious, most
Bro,
interesting man in the world.
He just came on here, just want to show some love and drop and like, bro, King Cat, dude.
I wonder where he was going. I bet it was somewhere like
he's
professional.
He's probably, he's probably in Italy going to like a Formula like 1 race or something. Like
yeah, he got he was
like
hungry,
that,
right?
or like he's like going off to like smoke cigars with billionaires somewhere in Dubai. I don't know.
Dude
It's
was
probably
hungry,
something
bro.
like that.
Dude was hungry, so he wanted Italian food, so he went to Italy for dinner. I'll be back home.
Exactly.
I'll be back home later tonight.
Dude,
Hey,
man.
I may be biased here, but I think the Jets fans represent the best in the Patreon. Just
hey, I ain't gonna lie. That is stunting for the Jets to be calling in from a jet. So that was pretty dope.
no.
Was it a jet or was it a plane?
It was a jet, baby.
It was a jet. Oh, then that's how you know King Cat is a VIP. If he's on a jet,
King Cat, baby. He's flying to an AFC's Roundtable event on us. How about that? Because that's another thing, folks, to keep in mind. The AFC's Roundtable events are happening, baby. When the schedule releases, if you guys want to be included on our pre-sale opportunity, you guys can shoot us an email at afceastroundtable@gmail.com. All you guys got to do is simply email us and say, hey, I would like to be added to the list of the pre-sale opportunity. When you get added to the list, you will get access to tickets before the public does. They sell out fast. And basically what we're doing is we're trying to at least go to every single game at each stadium, Patriots, Jets, Bills, and Dolphins, AFC East games, and with us 4 there. So we shall see. We'll keep you guys in the loop with all that. But again, if you want to get added to the pre-sale ticket access, you guys can shoot us an email right here. It's on the screen. And just say, hey, would love to get some insight information. You guys can meet us in person. We could talk ball, get a lot of fun. You can talk your trash. You could say all the negative things you want to my face. I'll take it like a man. Let's do it, baby. We'll see you guys this
Hey,
season.
Real quick, Richie. Just real quick, guys. Any Heat fans, y'all check in. Any Knicks fans, make sure y'all check in too.
Nah, we're good, bro.
You're losers. You're losers. Boston took care of the Heat. It's over. Just FYI. And y'all Knicks going down. Peace.
6-6.
Lies.
Last super chats we got, of course, the ladies are on. He has a kid. Oh. Izzy comes back with, we let the ops get a bum. Small wide receiver. Got a big stud. I don't know, bro. Xavier Worthy ain't no bum.
Here's my take on Xavier Worthy.
Oh,
God.
No.
Dan did go polarizing on Twitter.
It's going to be 13 seconds. He going to catch the pass. Watch.
Dan, I saw you. I saw you on Twitter. We
Yeah.
in this bitch. Let him know, Jet It Out. Appreciate that, Jet It Out. Traded picks with Kansas City was Buffalo kissing their daddy. Everyone knew who Kansas City wanted, and you gave Worthy to them.
So here's the deal. Xavier Worthy makes a lot of sense for the Kansas City Chiefs. Xavier Worthy did not make sense for the Buffalo Bills. That's all I'll say.
Didn't you want him?
I can respect that.
No. I didn't want either of the Texas receivers.
Who am I thinking of then?
Lad McConkey.
Yeah, I wanted Lad McConkey.
Wasn't there somebody else you wanted too?
I wanted BTJ, but then the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah. That's okay.
Well,
you avoided that.
We'll settle this in September, baby.
Let's freaking go. Guys, shoot us a follow on Instagram and Twitter. We're trying to build out those super platforms over on Instagram and Twitter at Roundtable Sports. New logos are out, baby. Check them out. We'll have some merch and a lot of exciting things coming, guys. We're just going to wrap up a 3-hour marathon show of the NFL Draft recap. Thank you guys so much for all the love and the support. 36 total super chats. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Oh, one last final super chat from Izzy. But Glenn, Buffalo is your daddy. Kiss your daddy. Damn. Izzy gets the last laugh. Ooh. Izzy gets the last laugh. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Super Bowl.
I'll see you guys next time. Peace. We are out.